Are you ready? Can crush us. It don't really get no better than this. The podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Gotta shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break them, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
This is the vivacious, vicious Vicky. If nobody knows who I am, I feel so bad for you. But with that being said, take a seat, because you're listening to the Can Crushers Podcast.
We tried to see who can. I'm watching your lips. You're watching mine, I'm sure.
Oh, we were doing a competition on that one because I was just going for as long as I could hold it. And I could do it longer, but I was like, that's getting awkward, so let's move forward.
Welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. That's Sir Michael Jenks. I'm Mark the Mark, who has been now internationally seen on podcasts around the world, including ours, and some hitting the ropes or something with Roxbold. I don't know, but apparently he needed some ratings.
Hey, you know what? You get the best in the world, and that's what you got to do. He enlisted you, got you to come in, boost the ratings, and I'm sure it's skyrocketing up the charts now. We're going to have to put on an even better show now to counteract it.
He tried to get me the whole show, and I just kept saying, dude, you're not the best. You're tag team champions, FTC, Art of Grappling. You're not the best tag team there, though. The referee, if you watched Wednesday night, the referee was just all out of sources. Too many men in the ring. The Brothers Seductions got screwed once again. That's all it is.
It is what it is at this point.
Bad reffing.
Yeah.
Bobby should get rid of this guy.
Bad reffing's been the story of the week from all across the sports world. So it's just natural. It carries over.
We'll get into that. So how was your week, my fine friend?
Yeah, it was good. Long work week and just getting through everything and, not a bad week. I'll say that. Let's put it there. It was a long week, but could complain, but can't. You know what I mean? Just one of those things. Like, let's move it on and let's keep going. Keep on trucking through. And you know what? I started my week off on a great note, talking about some spooky gimmicks around professional wrestling. So it can only go up too. So.
Oh, I thought you were going to revert it all the way back to last week when you were telling us that you were going to have your spooky party and your beers and brats or whatever, Halloween and the Hollow hats.
That's how long of a week it's been. I didn't even remember I had a party on Saturday. But, yeah, we had fun on Saturday, did a lot of pumpkin carvings, tie-dyed some shirts, including this nice CM Punk one now. So it's in blue, red. All my tie-dye jobs actually turned out pretty rad this year. So I'm pretty excited about that. But, yeah, did a lot of tie-dyeing, some pumpkin carving. My pumpkins turned out like absolute shit. Everybody else's that carved the pumpkin, fan-fucking-tastic. So.
Was it what you carved? And I don't mean it mean, but.
Yeah. No, well, so I did two pumpkins. One I carved, one I didn't. So the one I carved, I didn't pick out a design. I just didn't have time to do that. So I ended up just doing a, Tampa Bay Lightning Thunderbolt, which, surprisingly, those never turned out for me, but that turned out pretty well. Then I tried to throw a TB on it. The T was okay. The B was trash.
You did too much.
I did. I should have just left it at the lightning bolt and been done with it. So when I was looking at the B, I'm like, well, this is absolute trash. And last year I bought teeth, like fake plastic teeth that glow in the dark, so you can put them in a pumpkin, make it lively. But I had two of these little buck teeth things. So I just stuck them in the sides of the B to make the actual indent of the B, so it actually turned out good. So that was fine. The other one I found at a Dollar General, like one of those masquerade masks. If you go to they had those old-timey Renaissance where you put on a little mask and it's this little black thing. Found one of those, so I put it on a pumpkin, painted some eyes on it, and then I had stickers for mouths, and just found these little weird-ass skeleton arms. So I stuck those in it, and that actually turned out not half bad. I'll show you the picture of it, but...
Okay.
So those were mine, but we had people that were doing a lot of great things. Kimberly did a ghost, so hold on here. And you'll see Bailey in the background with this one. You can see it. I don't know if you can see this guy.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah. And then Kimberly had the little ghost. Mine's right next to hers, if you can see it.
Let it settle. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you the picture. But, yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. A lot of people did a lot of cool things. But, yeah. What was that feature? What was that?
Still
you can pull things.
Phones.
You can pull your, images out.
You can make them stickers.
I didn't know that.
I have a 17-year-old son. It was just give me a hold.
I didn't like the guy. I'm sure
I fucked up the phone.
Okay. We'll go back to that. But I'm like that guy. I don't know if you've seen the TikToks, but that weatherman that finds out his board is a touchscreen and he moves it.
Yes.
I'm like that right now. My mind is blown right now. Anyways, I gotta get off the phone because I'm distracted. But yeah, had a good time there. Went to a birthday party on Sunday for my nephew, who's 2. So we hung out. I hung out in the middle.
2 or is 2?
Because
there's
2,
a big fucking difference.
He's 2, but he is 2. Things of that nature. He can be a menace sometimes, but he's going to be a good older brother, hopefully. So, but yeah, I mean, it was a good week outside. We had some good times there, great fun, and then the week in general, just long, just ready for it to unwind and wind down.
You have to let us know.
Yeah.
The beer.
I do have to go back to the beer. And I think this started my bad week because it was terrible. It wasn't good. The Apple Pie Fest beer was not good.
Oof.
Excuse me. It tasted it didn't even have an apple or cinnamon taste to it. So it fell flat there, and it just tasted like a very generic lager. Or, it didn't even taste like an ale. It just tasted very generic, and, I don't even want to give you one now, because I'm
you have to, because
I won't give you one. Yeah, I know. I have to, but it's that's how bad it was. I literally, I'll have one while we're on air, but
I talked this out, Mark's gonna hate me.
That was my exact thought. I'm he's gonna find that this is fucking trash. I thought this was gonna be good. I've never had this beer before, so I'm in. I'm in on this. This is gonna be great. No, fucking disappointed. I should go back. The disappointment continues.
You're going back a lot.
I gotta go back. Now it's unloading all of these memories. Sunday, I'm Kimberly's been talking about lasagna soup that she saw on TikTok. It's looked really good. Looks stellar. So I'm hey, you know what? I'm going to perfect this, make it a couple times. Then I can make it for her and then, be a good boyfriend and whatnot. Sunday, I put it in the crock pot, do everything they tell me to do. You don't add the noodles to it until about 45 minutes before so they can cook down. So everything's looking great. Everything's looking good. It looks like a soup. I'm stirring it. Looks great. Put the noodles in, break them up, do what I need to do, walk away for 45 minutes. I come back. The noodles have absorbed all of the liquid inside of this soup. It is now a lasagna goulash in my crock pot.
You're just supposed to add water every so often?
No, you were supposed to just cook it in the broth and all of that stuff for 4 to 6 hours, then add the noodles for 45 minutes, and it's supposed to stay like that. No, the noodles all absorbed it. And I'm well, that sucks. So I've had lasagna goulash for the past week. It hasn't been good, but hey, if you add a lot of ricotta cheese, you can't tell the difference. So, whatever.
Bonus.
Yeah. So
I love ricotta.
It's an underrated cheese.
It really is.
I'm going to throw that out there. But lesson learned. It could have been the noodles I bought because I bought the oven ready versus regular noodles, so maybe that played into it. I don't know, but yeah. So it didn't go well. But hey, it is what it is.
Your venturing out, though. You're trying different things.
I've been venturing out and trying different things, trying to learn new things to cook and all that. And you try by error. It's either I add more broth next time or I add different noodles or.
And it ended up being edible.
Yeah, it wasn't like horrid. Like I would eat. I'm still eating it. I ate it today before the show.
You haven't shared it with anybody else, though, have you?
No, I sent a picture to Kimberly because I told her about it last night when I saw her, and she's like, "I need to see this. I got to see how bad this went." And I showed her. The noodles are pretty thick too. They got a lot of. It looked like shit, but it's like, all right, whatever. So, anyways, besides my failures for the week, how was your week?
Well, again, just like you, work was work. It was just nothing bad happened. It was just 40 hours felt like 1,000 this week.
Yeah, they did.
And I don't know why.
Yeah.
I mean, there was no weather this week, so it was cold, but you dress for that. You're fine and dandy. It just took forever for Friday to roll around. And
well, you guys were down to one truck too, right? So that probably played into it a lot.
I think that extra, and this people are going to be crying, that extra hour on the route or whatever, because you go to the dump, come back, and then you have to go to the dump and come back again at some point because the little truck isn't. The big truck can hold like 13 tons of garbage.
Oh, damn.
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
The little truck holds 6. Pushing it. Yeah. So there's a lot of, at best, you can only get half the route done.
Right.
And that's if everything's placed in, and trust me, we don't place it in there or anything like that, but you get wood, it doesn't set right, this, that, and the other. There's times that we were taking the little truck to the dump with only like 4.5 ton. Then it was full, air quotes, because the wood doesn't crush as much garbage bags and so on. So it just made longer days, but no more extra hours, just longer days for some reason. I don't know. Other than that, play practice went well. Our recording went really well. We'll get on that here in a second. My nose is inside out right now. I'm sorry, Jenks. You just keep, like, I just did a line off of the table or something.
I mean, you are drinking Coke right now.
What?
You're drinking Coke right now. So.
Maybe it is. I haven't had a pop in a long time.
That could be
fine. It's a mixer or whatever. But I mean, this is a straight one. I don't know. Like, something's going with my nose. The thing that we did, and then the interview being on Hitting the Ropes with Brock Boulder, and get him some pretty good news that is for 2024, and so on and so forth. It is what it is. I was going to cut my grass tomorrow, but it's going to rain, so that's not going to happen. Football from fantasy to college to professional all went fucking awry this week. So it's baseball season. The World Series starts tonight. I'm probably going to forget about football this week because one team predicted to win. I don't think they're going to, and the other one probably shouldn't even go to South Bend. And that's not a knock on my team, Hale Pitt, but they probably should not go there.
It's not going to go well for them, but you can't have that little faith in your fantasy team, though, man. You're the top in the league.
I am.
Like, you're already shipping it down the road and all that.
No, it's just I don't know. I don't know if it was our league or the other one. Like, something just felt wrong. I got the win this week, right?
No, so guys, I think here's the issue.
Yeah.
He lost this week, but he lost to me, so now he's in a bad mood about it. I think that's, but to be fair to Mark, my quarterback was Sam Howell, who is not that great.
Right.
And honestly, I had one guy that didn't even play, but I just had nobody left to put in the flex position, so I had to leave it blank, and he got smoked. I mean, I get it. You ship it down.
Underperformed.
Your team underperformed.
Yes, I am in first. What is it? 6-2? 4-2.
Yeah, you are 6-2.
6-2.
Yeah, 5-2. Sorry. Yeah, you're 5-2. I'm 4-3. But
right. Sam fucking Howell beat me.
Sam Howell and Deebo Samuel, who didn't even play because he was out with an injury, beat you.
In the other game, the other league I'm in, listen, our points aren't like ours.
Yeah.
So if you get, I don't know, 65, 70 points, you pretty much win for the week.
Right.
Because the scoring is a little bit tighter or whatever. I had 77 points. All right, cool. I should be all right. The guy who hadn't won a game all year ended up, I went by projected points of 77.
Yeah.
The guy who hadn't won a game all year, I don't know where his team came from this week. He had everybody that did everything fucking good. The Chicago Bears quarterback that nobody would have fucking picked him. He picked him. There's people scoring 40 points on his team. Dude ended up with 125 in this. This is double what normally we get. And this is how I lose. This is how I lose every week in that league. Like, I am projected. They made the beginning of the year where you're projected to finish on ESPN.
Yeah.
I was second. I'm okay. I'm not okay with that. But I know that I
win, but you
could.
First. Yeah.
I am in second to last place because every time I play somebody, they have somebody go the fuck off. I'm averaging the points that I should be averaging. They are just finding that hot person. I haven't had that hot person really on either league that I'm in. I'm just very consistent.
Right.
I don't know. I don't like. Listen, both of our free agent are thin.
Oh yeah, there's too many teams to make it.
I get somebody. I'm like, I'll keep Cortland Sutton on the bench. Not a big fan of him. Keep him on the bench in case I need him if George Pickens or somebody goes down.
Yeah.
Probably should have played Cortland Sutton. George Pickens didn't do it. That's on me. But I still average my point. Yeah, so. But overall week was good, this, that, and the other. But we do need to get in a little NCAA and NFL before we get to wrestling. By the way, I will tell you this. I fell asleep fast-forwarding Raw. That's how much I wasn't into Raw this week. But we'll get to wrestling after this. Refereeing
was abysmal.
Yeah. From the match that I saw Thursday night, actually. So whatever I said 15 minutes ago about older match, it was Thursday night. But it all started last Saturday. And I have two that I want to bring up.
Go for it.
First one, and they're not in chronological order, was Clemson against Florida State. Florida State's driving Clemson back, sack after sack after sack. His knee goes down on the goal line with the ball in the end zone. They look at it the TV way. That's the way it looked that I saw it.
Yeah.
Now, have you now seen this clip? Because we've talked about this, by the way, off of air and everything.
I did see
that. Seen this? Then when they look at it, it's clearly a safety. Then when they go to review it, they look at it from me recording it from the TV upside down.
Yeah.
There's no conclusive evidence. What happened to the fucking view that you showed 90 million people on TV? Where did that go?
It's like they have two different sets of visuals that they send people. What they send to the officials and what they send on the sideline. Like, you would think the broadcast team and the referees would be like, okay, here's the one set of camera views we can use for this going forward. And I thought that was the case. But this year, that has not been the case in some god-awful calls. And Saturday was that, especially one of them.
Yeah. Absolutely horrible. He was ball himself. The only thing that wasn't in the end zone was his right leg.
Yeah.
But everything else, and it would have been a safety.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't have meant anything. Clemson ended up winning the game, yada, 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 right?
Yeah.
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 I don't remember. The outcome was not determined by 2 points. I know that much. But still, it was a shitty call. Secondly, I will go to the Pitt game. Stoked. They're winning. 4th and 1. Whatever. quarterback runs, and again on national television, he started his slide at, and I'm going to fucking kill the ACC. Sorry, that'll probably get us canceled, the officials. But he started his slide at the yard marker. Okay, so he gave himself up at the yard marker.
Right.
That's where the ball should be placed, yada, yada, yada.
Yeah.
He's over. National TV shows it. He's over. The announcers, oh my God, he's way over. This, that, and the other. Again, you get this view that's coming from the student section now. Let's see if he made it. Oh, we can't tell. Shame on Pitt's defense, though, as well. There was 30 seconds and you fucking couldn't hold them. You gave up a touchdown and you lost. That's on you. Yes, should that have been a first down? Game should have been over. Completely agree. But then you just, the fourth string tight end.
Could, yeah. Well, there was no way. It was, no matter what happened on that play, the defense was just not stopping a fucking piece of paper blowing down the yard. You know what I mean? It was, so it was. But then,
Thursday, the ACC official come out and say, hey, that was the right call.
Yeah.
I just don't know what they're looking at.
But that's it. They don't define what they're looking at. They don't define what is acceptable in that. That's how it's been with the catches and everything along those lines. But now it's more about positioning in footballs where it's like, what the fuck, guys? Because this goes back to, if you remember, what was it, the Outback Bowl with Clowney when he became big because of that big-ass hit. They marked Clemson or South Carolina short by like an inch or like, yep. But they gave him the first down. Or Michigan, they gave the first down to, and the next play, Clowney popped the guy. It's always been like that. Like, you can't tell me your eyesight's that bad. You can't tell a chain link from a first down, what the pylon is. Even with the god-awful views that they were showing for officials in that, you gotta be able to see this. Like, they should be giving you multiple views that can piece it together.
As they're looking at it underneath the hood, they're showing everyone that they're looking at
the same time, but that's not the case. Like, it's just like, well, we're going to exclude that one because maybe these three don't show anything.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't have a conclusive view. And it's like, you can't do that. It's video evidence. It's video to show you where the ball is.
Evidence is a strong word.
Yeah. But it's, whether it's used or not is kind of up for debate.
And then the other one, yes, I'm a Steeler fan. Kenny Pickett did not have a first down whatsoever. If anything, he lost half of football when he dove forward.
Yeah.
They gave him the first down, they win the game. And I'm like, this is why people just, is it time for the robots in the NFL, in football in general?
I think it's time for drones to get better visuals on the ball. I think robots is the way of the future. I don't think we're there yet with technology and that. But I think, I'll go back to something that Sir Cody Hetrick has always said, put a chip in the football and see where it lines up. If you have a chip in the yard markers and you put a chip in the football, if they line up, that's first down. So it's as simple as that, but I don't think they want to invest the money in the infrastructure for that because you lose the human touch of the game. But at this day and age,
it's been lost, I think.
It's been lost for a long time. Officials are defining the games based on incorrect calls and that. And let's put it this way. Every official you see out on that field is a part-time official. It's not their full-time job to be there. Most of them are lawyers. Head of hockey league who was jacked to the nines. How would you like to face him in a court? Because he was an actual lawyer.
Right.
The gun show alone would intimidate me into giving up the case. So I think it's coming to a point where we need full-time officials like there's full-time players. We need this. We need the chips in the ball.
Study during the week.
Get yourselves better. Get yourselves in a better place. And then after that, okay, in the offseason, do what you want. Right? But, well, and going back, we talked about this too. Mike McDaniel, the coach for the Dolphins, completely on X was listing every call blown against his team. And then he said he was going to go to the Browns-Colts game, which there was multiple calls there that were blown, and he was going to go line by line with that one. It's time for a change, but they refuse to see the change. And I think there's people afraid to make the change in the NFL and college football to that extent.
I agree. By the way, I forgot to mention this, and I had them all. My head kind of went to a blank space, so I'm going to shake it off real quick. No bad blood between us, but
it's not a cruel summer. It's not a cruel summer anymore.
No,
so
because it's 1989.
Yeah, it's true. Taylor's version. So, yeah.
There's not been school here in Ridgeway today, as recording. It's Act 80 day, end of the 9 weeks.
Oh, I thought it was 1989 day for Taylor's version.
Well, what do you think has been playing since midnight at my house?
1989 Taylor's version.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Downloaded it. I wake up in the morning, go upstairs to do whatever I need to do, go to the bathroom and everything, peek in the son's room. It's still playing on fucking repeat. He's dead to the world at, 4:30 in the morning, but it's still playing. I'm like, oh, that came out today.
Gotta embrace it. Gotta embrace the fun.
As he just left for the football game, it turned off.
He's enjoying himself.
Senior night here in Ridgeway.
Yeah, having a good hey, it's good night. Doing something fun with senior night and all that.
It'll be moist. Ridgeway season comes to an end tonight, no matter what they do. I'll leave it at that. Which means, it's right around the corner then.
Yeah, basketball's right on the horizon for you.
Yep.
I'm
excited.
When's the season start? December? For you guys?
Yeah, roughly. I'm going to miss the first week because of the play.
Okay.
So the other guys will take care of whatever they can, but then the week after the play is when I jump on board.
That's fair.
For a week, then there's no school, then there's holiday tournaments, then it's full blown until
whenever.
March.
Yeah.
Which rolls right into softball and baseball.
With baseball season, then.
So, 'tis the season.
Gotta love it.
All right. We are a wrestling show.
We are?
We are going to talk wrestling. I am super excited, and I'm not watching it live, by the way, because I want to watch Pitt play Notre Dame, and then all personal electronics are off in this house after the Pitt game, as it's Martinez karaoke night.
Oh.
Everybody's off on a Saturday night, and we have not done this in forever. All personal electronics are off. We're going to get the Switch hooked back up, and it is whatever, sing it, song it, whatever the hell that is. We have a litany of them already on there. I have a lot of daddy beverages, and become
daddy beverages.
This is when I get my Grammy this weekend.
What's the go-to? What's the first song for what's Daddy Mark's first song?
I don't know first song, but when I get into it and I've had a couple beers, Sacrifice by Elton John. I fucking crush that song.
Okay. All right. Very nice. I like that.
There'll be a lot of Cole Swindell.
Okay.
Will be sung. Probably a couple Nickelback songs, and they're all on the Switch. That whatever that game is, I think it's called Sing It. I don't know.
This is how you remind me, so that's fair. I will say my go-to. Huh?
You want me to take a photograph and send it to you?
No, but I'm sending you one because I don't think I sent you this before. While I was talking, my go-to karaoke song, I don't do it often, but here I have Rock Band. So I could sing or play the guitar. I did have a drum set. I broke the drum set. We're not getting into that.
I love the drum set.
I do too. I'm really pissed. I was going to rewire it. It's too much of a hassle to try to rewire the thing, make it work. So I have to get rid of the drum set. But my go-to song outside of this, when I go to karaoke, Don't Stop Me Now by Queen, especially when I'm feeling it and feeling good, I can hit that pretty well. And it's a good, it's a solid mix. If I'm here at home, it's definitely Foo Fighters, but.
Oh, when I'm out and about karaokeing,
Yeah.
it's Rockstar from Nickelback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
But when I'm at home, I have high scores on a lot of them, trust me.
Oh, so do I. I have the whole Beatles Rock Band game, which I can hit pretty well with Uneasy, but we're not going to go there. We don't need to talk about that.
We didn't. I'm not editing that. I should have edited that out, but
yeah, but no, you're fine.
It was Uneasy, by the way.
Yeah. I just sent you those, but yeah, so I'll admit it. I'm on easy mode because I can't sing with her shit and I can't play guitar or anything like that. And I'll explain these
to me.
I did send those to you. Okay, good.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember. But, yeah, it was, gotta go Beatles, Foo Fighters, or who else was it when I was home? I can't think of it right now. But yeah, Don't Stop Me Now with Queen when I'm out and about. I did have a very wonderful rendition of My Name Is, what's it? Earl. It's whatever the Dixie Chicks song or the Chicks song is. About Earl. I can't remember the title. Goodbye, Earl. I couldn't remember the first name of it. I had a pretty good cameo on that, but
my real wrestling news, because rabbit hole.
Why?
With the whole big CW announcement for NWA, I watched Power last week, and I didn't tell you, but I watched Power last week. Give it a chance. I'm like, I watched it again this week. They got me hooked. Sunday, nice. I'm going to buy the replay of whatever the hell is. I actually thought, should I go to Cleveland this weekend? Because that's where Shalamanon or whatever it's called.
Shamanegu or whatever. Yeah.
It is happening. And I'm like, should I go? I'm sure it's not sold out, but I'm like, no, I definitely want to watch. Well, we made karaoke night a mandated, you have to be here, sign in and everything.
Yeah. There's no way around it.
Yeah, I can't get a doctor's excuse out of this. It was actually my idea that we actually did a family thing.
Well, yeah, and then if you don't fucking show up, that's going to be a whole other problem.
Where'd you go? Cleveland.
Cleveland, don't worry about it. I'll be back.
Keep singing.
I had to get some milk. But anyways.
Oh, boo. But I'm going to buy it Sunday. They both work morning. Nothing going to be going around this house because they both work. This pisses me off, by the way. One works at like 9 o'clock.
Okay.
In Johnsburg. The other one works at like 10 o'clock. God forbid they ride together and somebody sit for an hour, but I wouldn't do it. So.
Oh, yeah.
They both work in the same store, just opposite times. So both vehicles are not even going to be in town, essentially. So I'm like, whatever. So.
Yeah.
I am going to watch NWA Sunday morning, and I'm stoked for it. I really am. It's gotten back in my blood. I'm excited that it's going to be back on CW now. Syndicated, doing whatever. So
nice.
I'm going to start the process now.
Sweet. Very nice.
We're not covering NXT in total. New NXT Women's Champion.
I don't know if I was surprised by it, though, because they've been building up Valkyria, for a while now.
Yeah. And
the fact they pulled the trigger with it, I think that makes sense. But I also think Tiffany's going to get another run at the title, I think. Get another crack at it.
I think Indy was done dirty, though.
Yeah.
I would have, and I understand why they don't have the title change hand on Raw. Because, listen, it should change hand in NXT. We say it like New Japan titles, IWGP titles, all of those. Change hand on your own company. Why not Indy? Why not give her I mean, she was legit injured and had to give up the title.
Right.
Why not let her have it for a week and then have Lyra beat her? Well, one resume builder for Lyra. Completely understand that, so don't come at me. I understand it, but I've always been an indie fan. And I just feel like you kind of, she is main roster though now. You know, you're going to see her in the way or DIY
Yeah.
or whatever. Her and Candice are going to do some great things, I think. But I just would have, in my wildest dreams, hoped that Indy would have had one more.
Had it.
Yeah.
Well, and I think going off of that point, it seems like Candice and Indy are kind of forgotten for the most part on the main roster. And I think, and let's be honest, I mean, they kind of were on NXT to a point, and then finally Indy got the title. Candice was in the picture, but not really in the picture. She was flirting around with it because of the way and all of that, but she was really more focused into the Gargano, Johnny stuff than anything, like Johnny and Ciampa stuff. So, I mean, if WWE can reset the women's tag division, get the curse lifted off of it per se, and get everything right, maybe they have a shot and they have an opportunity for it. But until that point, it kind of seems like they're just going to be waiting in the wings type thing, or just kind of being left alone.
To linger
And just be there to be the talent to kind of build up the roster type thing, which is a shame because both women are extremely talented.
Agreed. I don't really have any other hot topics because there wasn't really, when we get into the shows, I'll be like, oh man, that was awesome or anything, but nothing in wrestling, nothing happened this week.
Yeah, I think the only thing that came out that made note for me was Mox basically coming out and saying the doctor should have the last say with concussions. If he sees something, push the fucking button and call the match. And then everything can get figured out from there. Which we said when he got injured in that Phoenix match. Button should have been pushed, call it. You can figure it out 20 minutes of airtime on the fly, or 10 minutes of airtime on the fly.
Yeah.
But I agree with him, and hopefully maybe TK will take that advice or make a better move for it, make something more. Because there's been a lot of injuries that have happened, and we continue with matches. So, where's the line?
The only one that I feel recently, and I'm talking like over a year now, that when it happened, they just stopped the match, pseudo pin, was the Adam Cole one.
Yeah.
Like when he took the clothesline and he couldn't move, they're like, fuck, how do we get out of this? Pin over, move along.
Yep.
But the other more recent ones are like somebody was goaded in to continue.
So. Yeah, and I mean, like Danielson breaking his forearm. I get it. If he can continue, he can continue. You can't diagnose a broken arm at that point. You could probably figure it out or feel, as disgusting as that sounds, feel it. But if he's not letting you near it, then you just kind of move on and say, okay, we'll figure it out from there. I think the one that always jumps to mind, and was lucky that it was at the end of the match versus like the beginning of the match, was Phoenix when he broke his arm.
Yeah. Back
in that tag team title match with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. That always sticks in my head, obviously, because that was just a gnarly ass.
It was bad. It was
visual.
Rekindle.
Exactly. Yep. So, but it was towards the end of the match. The match had already been it kind of was wrapping up anyway, so they just had to change who was getting pinned at that point in time. But yeah, you call things on the fly and you have to make it work. I think there has to be, but to that point, let's talk about this. Sometimes that AEW overuses the X, and we think,
yeah,
the match is over because they're Xing, and then all of a sudden we're starting the match again. So, yeah. And it's all part of the storyline. So to that point, has that lost its effectiveness, at least in terms of what NXT or AEW does?
In the fans' eyes, I think wholeheartedly, because it's not a knock on them, but it's a knock on them. You see it every show. You see an X every show that you don't know. All right, there's the X.
What's going to happen?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's either a return or a surprise or whatever, and then boom, whoever had the X ate his spinach and is ready to go.
Right.
So, yeah, I think in the fans' eyes, I think they're catching on to it more. Maybe the X is farce for us, that we then look at it, but there's actually a new symbol in AEW that we don't know yet. Maybe the Carol Burnett touching the ear or whatever. Yeah. It's the injury. Because every wrestling fan knows what DX means now.
Right.
Back in the day, I don't know how far back, but I mean, just back in the day, you saw an X, you're like, oh, what the hell is the referee doing?
Yeah.
You didn't know. Now that it's out there that much, it's just, oh, there's the X. He's done.
Well, and let's go off of what Moxley said about hitting the effing button. Maybe they do have buttons like a pitch calm or something like that where it's like, okay, you know, the trainer's at the ringside. There's a button on the referee, and Doc Samson's got an earpiece now, so it's, hey, he's injured, or, you know, the ref's touching something in his hand or something's there so that it can kind of signal to have a buzz go off in his ear to kind of have him go check people out and see what the hell's going on. There's a lot of things that it could be, and maybe that's why AEW's using the X now as more of a thing. But to me, if you have that technology where you can buzz somebody real quick, maybe it's as simple as talking, but if you have the technology where you can buzz somebody real quick to say somebody's injured, I don't know, to me, I'd kind of want to put that out into the world for other sports or other things to be kind of utilizing it and moving forward with it. But I guess if you're trying to keep kayfabe alive too, you can't be giving away all the tricks and secrets type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. So, just to let you guys know, we had some great feedback from Wednesday's show. The Spooky Wrestlers, and we threw some matches in there as well. Mm-hmm. So, moving forward, we talked about this, but now we're going to kind of cement it. And topics yet, we don't know. We have some in the hopper, but if you guys would like to send any in, you know, let us know. Send them in. Yep. Gmail, cantcrusher69@gmail.com, DM us or whatever on any of the socials we're going to bring up here in a minute. But that is going to definitely be a monthly show.
Yep.
Whenever we decide, except December, you're going to get it twice. November.
Well, somebody's a big actor now, so we got to work around schedules here.
Right. And normally they're going to be the spotlight at time. They're going to be a Wednesday night show. Right. Decembers are going to be the main show of what we're going to be doing because
what we got to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I have to get is it my Tony or my Grammy? Which one am I getting?
Tony, because it's a play.
Okay. I'm going to get my Tony.
Your Grammy's tomorrow night because you're singing. Yeah.
Concussions. But yes, that is going to be something that we do every month. We're going to have just a round table essentially, and there will be guests. We'll leave it at that.
I'm loving it.
Pickers, talkers, debaters, haters. What else can go along with that? I don't know. I'm good. I want to talk wrestling. Or you want to talk wrestling?
Let's talk wrestling. We're talking heads. Let's talk wrestling. Let's go for it.
Caller and elbow.
Pay the bills.
See? Caller and elbow. We have a promo code. Well, I'm going to see how much you remember of this. So I'm going to do this one. Caller and elbow. We have a promo code. It's Can Crushers. You'll save 10% when you buy some shirts from Al Snow and Hooligans down there. Where can they listen to us? And now stop. You can do the rest.
They can listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere, Podurama. If you go to Podurama now, there is a lifetime membership deal out there, 50% off. Do it. Sign up for it. You can carry it anywhere between, if I'm correct, your Alexa, your phone, your computer, wherever you want to go, travel with it. Everything picks up where you left off with it. Remember, that's 50% off on Podurama. Pick us up. Listen to us with the big boys.
Do you know, and I only found this out. Do you know about me?
Want to look at Drury Lane?
I want to sing like Adam Lambert now. Damn you, Jenks. Damn you. Do you know, and you don't because I didn't, Podurama releases our episodes about an hour before the other ones do.
Oh, I did not know that. That's a fun fact. So now you guys can listen to us an hour earlier on your Saturday mornings in case you wanted these sweet, sultry, velvety cockles in your ear holes on Saturday mornings an hour earlier. You can do that now.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Because when I was getting ready to schedule and release everything, I have stuff scheduled, but Podurama already released it, and I'm like, oh, hot damn. So I send it to every place else, And it took like an hour before like Spotify and Apple and and between those two, it's a crapshoot who releases it first. It's just whoever picks it up first because that's their whole algorithm thing and So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, so trying to throw me off the game. I like it. You can email us questions, topics of conversation for our spotlight episodes where we can have these lovely ones that we did on Wednesday. Anywhere at cancrusher69@gmail.com. You can also call us at 814-299-6687, where you can leave those with your sultry voices, but in 3-minute lengths and not 20 times, Dan Mucci. Also, shout out happy birthday to him because it is Muccinator's birthday.
Daniel Muccinator.
Daniel Muccinator, turning the ripe old age of 105 today. So good for him.
He looks good though for 105.
He looks way better than I could ever imagine. Yeah, he's doing great. He's got a couple kids. He's living life. He looks good. I'll give him his props. He's doing his best. He's going to live a lot longer than me. That's for sure.
No, he's 105.
Well, he is 105. He's a vampire. He's like Keanu Reeves. He's a vampire at this point. Find us on Facebook, Twitter. I guess it's X now. Instagram, the Threads. If you're in that cesspool of a marketplace, and that's it. What am I missing? I'm missing one.
No.
No, is that it? Oh, I did it. Oh, I was very impressed. See, I know what I'm doing over here.
Here comes Al Snow to tell you more about collar and elbow.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Hello, Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. This is referee Ryan out of Indiana Powerhouse Wrestling. You're listening to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast, the best podcast that could ever be shown on Spotify.
Welcome back, Can Crusher fans. Mark, Mike, we're here. We're going all elite first to start. I don't think we've done all elite first in a while. I do have to tell you though something.
Uh-oh, what?
As I went out to the kitchen to grab a beer, I forgot to tell you. I have the solution to the gnat problem that is all over the world.
Okay.
Are you having any gnat problem? Like, Ridgeway is just completely full of gnats right now.
I don't have any gnats in my neck of the woods, but...
Ever?
I think I had them maybe earlier this summer, but it's not like a consistent thing.
It's unbelievable down here right now.
So what's going on?
Flyminator.
What?
It's a Flyminator.
What is that?
It is this device that you plug in, set it somewhere. Ours is in the kitchen.
Oh, it's the light.
And it sucks them down in, and they get stuck on the glue pads. It's like $20.
Yeah.
I've literally pissed away $20 before. You get like 20 glue traps that you change every week.
Okay.
Fucker is loaded already. We've had it for 2 days.
Really?
And I'm not saying that like we're infested or anything.
Yeah. But you have a lot. Gnats are everywhere. I thought it was just, for a while, I thought, what the hell is dead in our house? Yeah.
So, clean freak, this, that, and the other thing, everything. Nothing. I have no clue where they're coming from, this, that, and the other. Baking soda and vinegar down the drains, down the toilets, down, like everything that you can possibly do.
Yeah.
You still have gnats. I'm going crazy. Try the baking soda and soap, No, the soap and vinegar with a little bit of sugar on it to kind of catch them in a step pool. They're spitting on them. We don't need that. Fall Eliminator off of Amazon for like $20.
Nice.
It's working.
That's
I got made fun of, but 2 other people in this house. You're an idiot. You're wasting money. Go check the trap. It's like
right now.
It's like that blue black light. Essentially, is on the top of it, and then when they get next to that, it's always sucking. It'll just suck them right down in.
Because it's such a. They're so weak. They're not that strong. So
it's not like a vacuum. It's not that much.
It's just enough that grab them and
yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So my investment worked. All right. By the way, we're watching Charlotte and Florida Atlantic tonight. 2-5 against 3-4.
It's going to be a barn burner.
I love these games.
I do too. I don't hate them. Don't get me wrong.
Rampage. Rocky Mero against Mystico. It was a great showcase, but that's really all it was. Great showcase. I didn't get anything out of the match.
I didn't either. But it's also helps get that mystique off of Mystico of that was left on him from being Sin Cara in WWE. I mean, when he had the one botch, it went downhill, the whole namesake and all that. And then, but Mystico, it kind of, he's building himself back up. And hey, if it works, it works. And, you know, if it's going to help get him indoctrinated with American crowds again in a better light, go for it.
Team Jarrett challenged, and we'll talk about this, challenged Eddie Kingston to that thing that happened, that Memphis Street fight. Silver against Sabin and Brother Jay. The winner gets the shot at, and we're going to talk in depth about these on Collision, I'm sure. Against OC, everybody knows Silver won. I am excited for Rampage though, because of Santana and Ortiz. Like, this is why I want to watch Rampage this week.
I agree. Also, our girl that we name drop on Wednesday is finally wrestling again on Rampage. Abaddon is back.
It's Halloween.
I mean, it's Halloween, yeah, and she's going to get a shot at the title because it's Halloween, which is perfectly fine. Hey, get her back on TV. But, yeah, Santana Ortiz is going to be fucking fire. And I hope it's not a one-and-done type thing either. I hope they go carry this out a little bit more. But we'll see what happens.
And then the rest, whatever. I mean, you saw the BCC against Brian Keith in Expedus Prime, which, by the way, they are great independent wrestlers. I'm trying to get them both on the show. I've been trying for a while. Schedules, whatever. They both need signed. I'll put that out there. My big beef. Listen. You get Ruby against Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Okay? Then you probably know where I'm going with this. We haven't talked about this off air or even via text. You have Sky Blue turning into this bitch, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I understand Scooby-Doo for PS5 just released and she loves Scooby-Doo. This is not the time for her to change into the mystery van. She is supposed to be like going more goth or going more Julia or going. She's got the black makeup on and this Scooby-Doo outfit. They're not doing her right. And I thought, well, it's only going to be for Rampage. The game just came out 2 days ago. Nope, it's the next night.
Yeah.
Which is live. And it's the next night that she's on TV. And like, this is now her gear. It's not going with what you're doing for Sky Blue.
No, it's not.
And it pissed me off.
But it gets, I guess in my mind also is, what are they doing with Sky Blue? Because we don't even know that. Like, we don't even know what they're doing with Willow at this point. Like, they did the whole angle afterwards that she shunned away Chris and da-da-da-da-da. But outside of a couple here and there turns and being more stoic in nature, she really hasn't turned or really hasn't done anything.
Just done heelish anything yet.
Anything heelish. She's still booked as a baby face. She's still just, it's like a baby face with the teenage attitude, teenage angst associated with her at this point.
Very good.
What is it? Like, what is she supposed to be? Is she supposed to turn? Is she not? Like, Ruby's winning by hook or by crook and then beating her up afterwards. And then Ruby's doing whatever Ruby does. It just doesn't seem like it seems like they're dragging whatever's happening out with which when it was Julia, that was fine because it was a slow transition. She was still dressing in all black. She was kind of just withdrawn, but now it's a performer that's doing this. So now more attention put on her. You can't necessarily just have her be in a bad mood and then in bright, flashy colors. That's just not how it is. Because when I'm in a bad mood, I put on black clothing, darker clothing, and that.
That's
I'm sure you do the same.
When I want to be left alone for a day, if I wake up in the morning and I'm miserable, the sweats go on, and either my Roman Reigns We the Ones, because I only have like 2 black hoodies, We the Ones, or the one that says I'm broken, but it says I'm okay.
Okay, yeah.
But they know Mark's
walk
go
away
or go to the pet shop for the day, leave them alone.
Let them be. Well, and it's, for me, I have multiple black hoodies, but the one, I mean, I can't, I'd be in a sky blue situation because it's a minion in a Batman costume on the front of it, right? So it's like walking around, you're not going to be in emo mode for that day. But at the end of the day, if you're going to transition her more into that, then fine. If you're not, and she ends up fighting it like a demon within her, let's get more out of the facial expressions. Let's play more with that kind of fight between.
Let something go on in her head that she's
exactly. The head goes on
talking to her in her head, or whoever.
Something in your head, facial expressions going like up, down, and different. Then she's frazzled, type thing. I think that goes a lot further than kind of just letting her sit with Murder Mystery Van and black eyes.
And in a smirk. Like,
yeah,
I love Sky Blue. Everybody knows this. I love her. I'm on board with what they're going to do with her.
Right.
But I think she's too happy of a person to make this transition. Because she wants to smile. I think that's her real life. Like, her real life. Like, she wants to come out smiling and waving and everything. She's struggling with it coming down to the ring. You see her holding it back. Stop on the close-ups, too, then.
I think to that point, if you go down that route, she's just happy to be there because this is her dream. She's living out her dream, which is absolutely fine. But if you can't act out what you need to act out to get it down to the ring, then let's cut and paste it. To your point, stay away from close-ups or just cut and run and say, okay, it's not working. You do you. Let's have an angle to get you out of that.
As a good guy.
Yeah, let's get you out of, yeah. But let's get you in an angle to get you out of that so then you can kind of reform and break out of it. You might as well turn it into an advantage at that point and gain more popular. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So, that was Rampage. Collision was good.
Collision was very good.
I did. The dream match that... was it really announced on Rampage? Because I didn't see it really announced on Rampage.
I didn't either. I think I woke up Saturday morning and I saw it was on there and I'm like, oh shit, we're going this route right now?
Danielson and Andrade? Fans, they weren't even in the ring and they were saying this is awesome.
Awesome. I forgot they fought back in 2018 too, but other company, different rules. Now we're a little bit more unhinged and let it go. Let it fly. It was really, oh man.
Starts technical, gets physical, gets more.
Yep. Does the whole spectrum of what you wanted to do in a dream-esque match, right? And then, hey, the Dragon did it. He won it.
Shook hands. That was all good.
That was all good. And then black. And then lights. And then black mask.
Goodbye.
Good night, sweet prince.
AEW this week, and I said wrestling in general didn't do a lot. AEW kind of did. I want to eat my crow words in a second. There's a million feuds set up this week via AEW in 2 shows. Collision.
Yeah.
Thank you, Bailey. And what happened on Dynamite that we're going to talk about here in a minute. But, like, holy moly. I want to see Danielson in the House of Black. All 3 of them.
Well, yeah, of course. I mean, think of the matches he can have with Buddy Murphy alone, who has just banger after banger after banger. Malachi, who has been known to put on those NXT just tear down the house type matches, and Tommy End to that before that, even
right.
So. I'm looking forward to him and Brody King.
I am
Brody
too.
King's a big guy who can throw himself around and move. With Danielson, oh, give it to me. Just give it to me in the veins.
You went to last because that's what I want more. I mean, trust me, I want him and Malachi. I want him and Murphy. I really do. I want to see him and Brody just.
I want to see how he topples the big tree.
Yeah.
But I also want to see how the big tree thwarts his attempts to topple him. To me, that is like a perfect scenario of the masterful technician versus the beast incarnate type thing. I'm not stealing Brock's, bless you. I'm not stealing Brock's trademarked nickname or anything, but that's what it is to me. It's like a knight versus a beast, like a dragon type situation. And I'm flipping the roles here, obviously, but to me, that's what it is. It's how does he cut down the big tree to conquer it? Or does he not conquer it and the big tree wins in the end? It's beautiful. I'm not going to say it's David Goliath, but it's something that can be masterfully told. And Danielson has told those stories before beautifully.
And he's going to have to go through both of them before he gets to Malachi.
Oh, of course, 100%. I think it's him, and if it's anybody in Malachi, I think it's Full Gear, and they're at. It's not till Full Gear. Like him, Danielson and Malachi at Full Gear. But he's going to have to go through those 2 every week, and there's about 3 weeks until Full Gear. Yeah. But I don't know why my brain stopped there, but go ahead.
That's all right. Danielson has a longer feud coming too, and we'll talk about that in Dynamite, I think.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Sky Blue beats Hollywood Haley. What, we forgot the J in her name? She couldn't be her whole person?
Trademark.
I'm not being a dick, but in OVW?
I know.
Sky Blue gets the win at Scooby-Doo. The Guns against the Outrunners. By the way, Randall Floyd and Shiloh Jones, they've been on the show before. They were originally from OVW. They play this whole Outrunners thing up.
Yeah, they did a great job of that. I was loving it. I know it was a 2-minute match, but I was sitting there and I'm like, oh, I love this what's happening right. I love the Outrunners. I need to watch more of the Outrunners. I'm going to be honest, because I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was great. Loved them playing it up. Perfect.
The Devil shows himself to the Gun after this? What?
It's so odd. The Gun, we know the Devil's not MJF. Like,
right.
But now who's the Devil? Like, who is it? Is it, I don't know.
It's not the person it's going to be. I'll tell you that.
Oh, right now, no. The person who it's going to be is not there right now.
Right. I am full force believing that it's going to be Showtime. Or it might zig before it zags. I think that's who it's going to be.
Could be.
Not Dolph Lundgren.
No, I know, yeah. Dolph Lundgren?
No, I really think it's Dolph Ziggler.
I get that, but you said Dolph Lundgren, so
I know.
I thought you were saying the wrong name, but you said
it on purpose.
Okay, I didn't get the credit. I didn't get the joke. Leave me alone.
Really, your eyes went, wait, what the fuck?
Wait, he's fucking going to a Rocky character? Okay, that's fine. You think it's Ziggler?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that would make sense for your zag joke, but I didn't pick up on it. But I don't think it is.
No?
I think it's got to be somebody closer to somebody fucking with people. Like, I'm not saying it's Adam Cole. Don't get me wrong on that. That's not who I'm saying it is. But whoever's facing MJF, this is not a prediction, but whoever's facing the world champion or at least MJF at the end of the year in World's End is the devil. Because I think that is the person that is going to, I think it's just like messing with MJF more than it is Jay White at this point. Most outrageous theory I've seen out there so far is that it's Punk. And it's playing that, and we know this is not going to happen.
No.
But people are like, well, what if it's Punk? Then it's the greatest trick the devil ever played is that the devil doesn't exist. Storyline again. And it brings it full circle to last year, and everything under the sun, you can kind of make it all a whole hook shamble,
right.
hook by crook. It's not. Yeah, it's not Punk, but I thought that was, some people made a good argument for it, but I was like, that just doesn't make any sense to go through all of this. And there's so many theories out there right now, it's hilarious. I'm sure you've seen Jack Perry's one of them.
Yeah.
We talked about Adam Cole. Hell, I could see it being Roddy too, just fucking around being an asshole about it.
Yeah, because they're all pre-recorded.
They're all in. When we get to Dynamite, you show MJF and then you immediately show the devil after that. That's kind of separating the two in my mind, but who knows?
The Memphis Street Fight. First of all, why the hell are you wearing the Eli Manning jersey?
Okay, yeah, I was trying to figure that out, and I'm like, how does this tie back to Memphis? Because I spent half the match trying to figure that out.
It's just because he's from New York.
I get that, but
why not Phil Simms then?
Simms. Why even any jersey? Jarrett's in wrestling gear. Why are you in a jersey?
Because it's a street. I like.
He just says I agree. But if one competitor's not going to do it and you are, you know what I mean? It's a little weird.
Right.
But to me, why don't you put on your own T-shirt and that?
Touche. I agree.
I just hated the entire match.
I did too. Because you knew it was going to become 8-on-1 at the end of it. Yeah.
Because he doesn't have a friend in the business.
It was to get Jay Lethal, not White, a title shot.
Right.
He was going to get it.
Yeah.
Because who else was going to, I think this is who takes it off of Eddie. You don't?
I don't know. I don't think they built him up enough. I think this is going to be
a original ex-champ,
Yeah, but I think it's also too early for it to be December, to name the opponent for the December pay-per-view.
Yeah. But
so I think they only get to, I think this is just a one-off match in November, and then whoever the actual challenger is makes themselves apparent after that. Because, here's my thinking on it, too. The way they booked Jay Lethal and that entire group
is garbage.
Exactly. So why would Jay Lethal get the title, you know what I mean, get the title shot? Versus, I
think because Eddie needs to leave.
Well, Eddie does need to leave, yeah.
Not wrestling. He needs to go.
I know what you meant, yeah. But, I don't know. I think he does lose the title at the pay-per-view, but I think the match against Lethal is in November, and he doesn't get to the pay-per-view. The title gets the pay-per-view with Eddie, but not Jay.
Okay. I think Jay gets it.
That's fair.
Yeah.
If you prove me wrong, I'm happy about it. Because I'm not against Jay Lethal getting the title, but
it maybe he's only for a month then.
It could be to set up something else. Briscoe might be coming back from injury. Is he close to coming back? Because if that's the case, you give it to Jay, and Lethal dumps it to Briscoe because they already have that built-in history from early in the year. So maybe it could work out that way.
Yeah. That's where, yes.
That's fair.
Miro goes to Tasha Andrade.
This whole thing.
I'm already over it. Just have, I was going to say Lana, have CJ manage him because that's what it's going to end up being. She's going to go back with, or vice versa. He's going to go with her.
She's laughing at him when he destroys Action Andrade. Like, she's happy about it. So
Right.
she's just feeding him people. Man. This was supposed to be your new man, but it seems like she's just feeding him people. Like, she's being a siren, calling to these men to come in and be her wrestlers that she manages. But at the end of the day, it's only for Miro to kind of take them down a notch and kick the shit out of them. That's what it seems like to me. Especially the way they cut her laughing.
Question of who from WWE has sucked, I'm paraphrasing.
Yeah.
It's clearly Miro. We love everything that he's doing. We love Miro, but he's just been given shit.
Yeah. Ton of shit.
A lot of talking goes on. FDR destroys two locals, Bad Thad Brown and Darren Bellington Darren
Thangston.
Yeah. And then Malachi comes out and takes them out. And I'm like, hey.
With Brody and Buddy in tow. Okay, so now, not only has he set his eyes on Danielson, but now he's set his eyes on former tag champs who have nothing to do with Bryan Danielson.
Right.
Wild.
2 feuds, one night.
Kicked off like that.
6 people. Yeah, boom. And then the BCC takes on Starks and Big Bill. Oh, wait. The House of Black is back again.
They're just showing up all over the place, I mean.
I love it. And I've always been a House of Black fan. Go back years, you've always heard it. We have too much in your hopper, though. You have too much in your hopper. What are they setting up for that there's 3 of them, and they've now challenged 8 people?
Yeah. And 8 people that aren't even connected. Like, you've challenged the BCC, which is one thing. That's fine. But now you're trying to challenge the former tag team champions who have nothing to do with the BCC. So what are you trying to do here? Like, what's the game plan? And I hope we get some sort of proclamation or something from Malachi on Collision tonight when you guys are listening that says these are our intentions, or is it just another hidden tag? Because why not?
And I hope Julia Hart's done with her honeymoon. They went to Bali?
How could they went? I didn't see it.
Yeah. It starts with a B.
It's probably Bali. Bali's a big honeymoon resort. Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah, very good for them.
Good.
They got that AEW money when you're endorsed by Jerry Lynn. So.
Right. But get your ass back. You're done. Wedding's over. Honeymoon's over. Get back. Finish your stuff up with the girls. Have Julia take over some more. We both watched about 10 minutes of Battle of the Belts. I would probably say 10 minutes, and it went to, I'm going to watch highlights.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you fucking know what's going to happen. I mean, they've done nothing to say, the people that these guys are fighting are credible threats. Like, the only credible threat might have been Willow, right? But at the end of the day, John Silver, Tony Nese are not credible threats for those titles. And plus, this has been a common thing on Battle of the Belts. There may be one match that has the potential to change the belts, but it doesn't do it.
Yeah.
So we don't have any title changes. We have nothing to invest in when we see these one-off specials. It's just like, you're giving some. Here's an extra hour. Here's a couple guys that have championships that we need to fight. Same thing. So it's like, what the fuck's the point?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Battle of Belts. Orange beats Silver. Joe beat Tony Nese. Stat beats Willow. And the Acclaim beat they're still being called the JAS.
Yes. Yeah, which I don't understand that, but just let it go. So are they reuniting now?
As we transition to Dynamite, and we can just go all over the place in Dynamite.
Yeah.
Jericho has a sit down with Renee. It sounds like Jericho's now face again. That fast.
Yeah.
And he only has a couple friends. And I think it's a JAS again.
But I don't know. You have one bigger than, what's his name? Will Hobbs. Is he going really big? That's going to put on a show? Or is he going, what's he go with? Because, I mean, Chair Show's kind of hanging out in AEW right now.
Get that? Are we going to get that?
I think we might. Get Paul White bouncing up, get him to wrestle once a year.
Sure.
I mean, it's who's bigger than Hobbs?
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's not already called out somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talk about here in a minute.
Who's bigger than Hobbs? It's not Hager. Hager's not bigger than Hobbs.
Lance Archer. That's a joke.
That's too much of a rental property for Lance Archer. He works by day, so he's only there for 5 days, and then he's got to go.
He doesn't get in storylines.
He doesn't get there. Yeah, he gets there for a hot second and has a cup of coffee.
So the show starts on Dynamite with Renee and MJF in the back. He calls Adam. Roddy comes out and he just pushes him away. I'm glad they went to the match. I always like when they do something different to start the show. And I'm like, oh, Renee's going to make a big announcement or whatever. And then right before your match, I didn't need to see this. Like, it was just like,
I was okay with it because, to your point, it was a change of pace. It was something totally different. We could move on from it. I found Roddy getting pushed away hilarious because it's MJF's not accepting it. But at the same time, it's also like, okay, to your point, we could have did this afterwards, but I think it's set up so that they could talk at the end of the match and go through that whole shtick when we get there.
MJF against Juice for the Diamond Ring. And let me just say, thank God we were wrong.
I agree.
After I thought about it for a week, and we're like, Juice is going to win this, it's going to set up for da-da-da-da-da, and then he keeps his title with Jay. I still think I will make a prediction now, he's still keeping the title with Jay. I think this whole, whatever we're doing with Jay isn't working.
Right. I don't think I could see him pulling the trigger, but at the same time, no, unless they're going to do a very big swerve that gets us into World's End, which I think his contract ends on midnight on December 31st. So that's we're getting into MJF for 2024 thing.
He's carrying that title.
And he's carrying that
contract.
Exactly. So I think he's carrying the title at least till World's End. So I think we just made our prediction for the pay-per-view. Unless they show me something in the next 3 weeks that changes my mind, which I can't imagine they will.
Right.
I don't think MJF's losing that title.
No. Me neither. But I loved everything that happened after the match. I loved the match. I really did. Blood quick on Juice and everything, and the fake diamond ring coming in, and then the winning with the last year's diamond. Is it the same ring?
It's the same ring, yeah.
A different one each year, like a Super Bowl.
It's the same ring because it's like defended every year. So that's why they keep calling him the 5-time or the 5-year running. Folks, I'm going to call it right now. This is the Undertaker streak of AEW at this moment. Yeah. That's what they're building right here is MJF successfully defends this diamond ring, and when he loses it, it'll be a big fucking deal in 10 years or so.
Oh, so you're already predicting he's going to resign?
He's going to resign. I think it's already happening. I mean, he's their big star.
Happened.
Probably. And let's face it, why they flipped him to babyface because they were like, well, he's getting cheered too much, so we have to flip him to babyface. They know what they have here, and they know he is the franchise for. If they're going forward, he is their franchise. It's not their newest gift that they have trolling around that we'll find out about later. It's the new guy, the MJF running around here. Yeah,
the money is just back up the Brinks truck.
Yeah, exactly.
There's your contract.
Yep.
So he gets attacked by the Bang Bang Gang. The Kingdom comes out. They looked like the Bushwhackers walking through a Royal Rumble match.
They did.
They showed up, and they got their asses beat. And they were eliminated quickly. So much that I forgot at the end of this whole shtick, they were even out there with everybody else that came out.
I remember they were out there, but yeah, because it was like 2 seconds. They got in there, and I've never seen somebody come make the save get beat up so quickly in my life. So that shows you what the bar they put the Kingdom on right now. Which, if you had Kingdom as your ROH tag champions anytime soon, it's way too. They're not there yet. They're 100% not there.
Not at all. Maybe the Guns, but
not the Kingdom.
So the Acclaim comes out and actually makes the save. Then the Guns challenge MJF for the ROH championships. He says, okay. Dollar Store Jack Sparrow, I fucking lost it.
I did love that one. That was a good one. But then,
go ahead.
We're going to probably go to the same who is going to team with him. I thought that was an interesting twist that he's like, I don't want you guys.
He closes the scissors.
He closed the scissors and said, it's not you guys, and he walks away. To me, that was phenomenal storytelling because it's keeping MJF as that lone duck. I only trust one man. That's Adam Cole, and that's adding layers to another story. It's already there. I mean, Roddy just needs to shut the fuck up, and that's what MJF told him.
I'm getting Roddy. Honestly,
you're getting sick of him.
I am.
Yeah, it seemed it's a too needy thing, which I guess he's doing it phenomenally. Then, but but I would agree with that. But for MJF to basically turn down the guaranteed help and turn the Acclaim against him even further, which Daddy Ass was not happy about it. Max
didn't care.
Max Caster didn't care. Bowens did. Yeah. But I thought that was such smart storytelling and kind of flipped it on its head a little bit more. But now I think it also builds in the story. Anybody that talks to MJF could get attacked leading up to that match next week on Dynamite, where he might have to just kind of get them somehow and use the Acclaimed. So I think that's going to be interesting to watch out for. Whether they can attack the first guy that steps up to volunteer or not is a whole different story.
Well, that's who I'm predicting is going to be his tag team partners. Because this match will start, but I don't think it ends.
Okay.
It was what you just said. Because essentially, I'm going into the mind of Jay White. He knows Omega is a threat.
Yeah.
Listen, if Omega gets the title, beats MJF on Collision tonight, you have to give Omega that title. Jay White has to give him that title because then essentially that storyline's done.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
And that kills several storylines.
Right.
You don't have MJF beat Omega because, listen, there's a match there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a hell of a match there.
So just like you said, whoever he talks to has the possibility of getting jumped.
Yeah.
Well, Omega's friends with 3 other people. It could be Hangman and the Bucks to come out and make the save so Omega has something else to do. Or it's MJF, Omega, and the Bucks because the respect is there. He'll watch his back with Omega and he'll take on them guys.
Okay.
The match is not ending. I'm not going to say it, but I'll make a Smarties bet since it's Halloween and I'm going to get a lot of Smarties because I'm going trick-or-treating and everything. I will bet you a pack of Smarties. This match does not end because the Bang Bang Gang jumps in and then Max says, you guys fucking hate him as much as I do.
Let's be friends and let's do this. I would agree because how do you book Kenny Omega and MJF
that fast? And on Collision, it's going to bring people to Collision. Don't get me wrong, and I know that's why they did it. But that you're not going to get, to your point, you're not going to get a finish. It's a pay-per-view
like that. That's a pay-per-view match. You need to get it.
Shit on each other.
Yep. Yeah, they need to get it to a pay-per-view. This is not the pay-per-view to do it. it could be down the line, but it's not now. It's just it's like what WWE does when a streak's on the line, you throw somebody at it to kind of thwart it. Like with Gunther in the streak, it was Gable. You know, you plug in, play people, but for this streak for AEW, the guy's there. So Kenny Omega has to be the one that defends his streak as the longest reigning champion.
Right. And that's opponent number 1 for MJF in the near future. Opponent number 2 is, they're not even off the stage and you're getting the vignette from Wardlow.
Yep.
Now officially fucking calling him out, saying, Bert, I'm ready for you.
And I love how they did it.
I did too.
That was perfect. We didn't forget the history. Also, it was, I beat this motherfucker, and you guys give him the world, and now you're kissing his feet. What the fuck? Yeah. I will destroy him again to prove how much better I am than him. Like, I love that motivation. That's the Wardlow we need right now. It's a pissed off, on a mission Wardlow.
Have you ever been to Philadelphia?
No.
Me neither. I have not. We both go to Philadelphia someday. It's definitely not for WrestleMania 40, so not then. But we both go to WrestleMania 40. Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Are you going to run the steps?
I'd give it a shot. You know, maybe. Maybe, I don't know. This pod's not built for running anymore, but...
Mine isn't either, but maybe the first... There's 3 layers?
Yeah, there's 3 layers, then you get to the Rocky statue, I think.
Yeah. I think I'll do the first one.
Yeah. You know, I would probably do as high as I can get, which I know is past the first layer, I think. But...
Or we walk the first layer, get warmed up, and then definitely run the second 2 so we actually finish next to Rocky. Because we want to jump around like idiots. I at least do. Want to jump around that whole Rocky statue.
Nah, I just want to collapse next to it. We could do
2. We could do 2. I don't think, I'm speaking real, I don't think we could do 3.
Yeah, there's no way we're doing 3. 2 would push it for me, but I think I could do it. If I'm in the right frame of mind, I think I can push through it, yeah.
I think I could do 2. So we'll walk the first one, make it as far as we can on the second one, but really make a mockery once we get around Rocky.
Oh, absolutely. That's what you're supposed to do.
Dark Order against Hook, and RVD.
Hawk came back? When did I miss that?
I didn't care.
Well, it was just, hey, let's get RVD in front of the Philadelphia crowd for... That's all it was. I mean, it wasn't anything special.
Right. But, I mean, he came out to walk, which... Did Tony just pay for it for that night?
No, he paid for it for the first time he came back, too.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's just his theme song when he's in AEW, which now has been twice in 3 months. So is he just on the roster at this point or what?
Well...
He can still go.
He can still go. You're right. But he got the phone call to say you are not welcome at WrestleMania 40 now. Did you hear that this week?
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. He got pulled off the card of WrestleMania 40.
Because of his AEW stuff?
Yep. And he's like, all right, I'm getting more work now.
Yeah. Why wait around if I'm getting work? And he's in phenomenal shape. Better shape than he's ever been in WWE since the early 2000s.
He might get late peace pipe down, too.
I think he has. Yeah.
So.
Well, you can't smoke your own product. Because he has his own line, doesn't he?
Right.
Yeah. Can't smoke the competition either, so you're screwed at that point.
Sellers don't dip into their own stuff.
Sellers don't dip into the shit.
Not that we would know. Again, another Tony Storm video during a commercial. I know they're silent. I understand that. Can we feature, and I'm begging for it, can we feature one on the show?
Well, I agree, but they're supposed to do what I think Sammy's cue cards did, and it's not hitting. I think I made this argument a couple of weeks ago. It's just not. I'm not staying tuned. I'm walking away.
So somebody else. I didn't know somebody else was walking away.
Like, I walk away from it because I don't want anything. Like, okay, fine. Now Luther's a part of it, and there's a butler. It's like, cool. Yeah. So this is the butler that's going to help her win. Wait. Okay, I'm jumping.
No, that's fine. Jump.
Because I need to know right now why Toni Storm keeps getting title shots without actually earning title shots. Can somebody tell me this? Because now the winner of the Ruby Soho Shida match, I assume, is in line to face Toni Storm to defend their title, which we know is Shida. Why is this happening? Like, why does Toni Storm get passes, and then the champion like Shida has to earn her way? Like, I get this time she's defending the title, whatever. But why was Toni Storm named the champion, the number one contender? When it was a tournament back in August, why is Toni Storm advanced to the finals for her rematch, but Shida has to win a tournament match to get there?
And we're not disrespecting her greatness in the ring or her character or anything. Like,
we're not. I'm just questioning the logic here. The booking and the logic here. What is forcing that to be she's automatically in a title match? We've had nothing around we know she was in the title picture, but she has not been in the title picture for a month. So what exactly has pushed her to the top of the card in terms of contenders?
I don't know.
That drove me wild seeing it again play out. And again, it happens to Shida. Does somebody have something on Shida? Does Toni Storm have something on Tony Khan? I don't know.
Can I tell you what they're going to do? In my mind of minds?
What are you thinking?
This is a year reset.
Oh, it always is at full year.
No, this is from what happened a year ago, interim champion to who's coming back, to losing it to, I believe, Toni Storm's first opponent when she takes it off of Shida will be Thunder Rosa, who returns.
Who returns at full gear. Because it's in LA. Yeah, because we have been expecting Thunder for months now, since Collision started. She hasn't shown up. We know she's at least, I think, 100% or at least able to go.
And then the next pay-per-view, we get the full-fledged reset when Jamie Hayter returns in 2024. The first pay-per-view then.
Yeah.
And then the women's division's back.
At full strength.
Takes it back off of Rosa, and then we run with whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a long process. Because we've talked about the whole book women better match, etc. It's actually been a shit show.
Yeah.
Nothing against Saraya having it. She got her flowers. Cool. Was she supposed to? I don't know. Yes, probably, but not probably that way. Like,
right.
Her faction was the strongest thing going.
And then it blew up in 2 seconds.
Yeah. So I think this is the reset. Remember what we were doing a year ago? And Thunder got hurt and Jamie got hurt and this, that, da-da-da-da. Let's get back to that. How do we do it?
Toni Storm. Point.
Listen, I love all of the ones I named. The legend that Toni can win, lose every match. She's still interesting. We're going to follow her.
Yeah.
Her having it for another month or so and then losing it to Thunder isn't going to hurt her.
No, it won't.
Look at the character she can play.
Yeah. Valid. Fair.
That's what came in my mind.
I like it.
Darby's thing come out, talk to Tony. He really loves Philadelphia. He forgot to thank them last week.
He should thank Darby too, apparently.
Yeah.
Who is his greatest tag team partner he's ever had.
And I wish I would have done. Listen, he then names Lex Luger. They won the fucking Crockett Cup. Name some other people that he's been aligned with. Oh, the NWO.
Oh.
Nothing against Darby, but no way you're going to say that's
who's your favorite partner. Yeah.
If you don't think that now sets up Revolution.
Thing, yeah. You're blind or just refuse to accept anything.
And then his present is listen, Ethan knows he's getting like a laptop before he goes to college.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Ric Flair present was. Like, Ethan knows, okay, graduation next year, I'm getting a laptop, go to college. You know this years in advance. Boom. He's getting other things too, don't hate on me. But boom. This was Sting. Everybody in the wrestling world knew that Ric Flair was going to be his present. And Christian may be my new favorite fucking wrestler in AEW. Because
it took you this long.
I love Christian.
I know,
but so you only got a suit, gold change, and a black liver again. Died laughing.
The weekend at Bernie's line, I was shitting. I was dying with that, but
I don't know, like, there's no God, or Ric Flair would have been dead
20 years ago.
Oh, like, I didn't know if I want to bring that one up. That's a touchy subject, whatever. But
I mean, but
oh my God,
he went full fucking Christian mode on him. Like, you think he can only make jokes about people's dead fathers, but no, he's gonna go full on. You're 70 years old and you're an alcoholic. I'm gonna go in on you, and that's Ric Flair can drink. That's where I'm going with that. But
right,
Christian, goddamn it, he came out and I'm like, oh, this is to me, and you people may hate me. Save the segment because it's awkward. That's Ric Flair. Like, I didn't know what the fuck his present was.
It wasn't a Flair promo.
It wasn't a Flair promo. It was what it was. But then when Christian came out, I'm like, okay, now this is entertaining. This is something we're not fucking around. But they also, is Flair sticking around?
Until March is what he said. He's riding his coattails till March.
So I'm like, what the
Revolution's in
it's in March, which I'm like, we're just going to have Ric Flair tag along with Sting and Darby?
Yep.
For the next 6 months, 3 months, whatever it is. On fucking couple there.
How often is he on?
Well, I feel like it's going to be probably pay-per-views and then maybe some one-offs that they need to do. Because they'll probably have a Charlotte show. They'll do an Atlanta show. Because it's going to be Sting's farewell tour. So it's going to be big places in Stinger's career. There's probably going to be somehow a Venice Beach show because that was where he was billed from for the longest time.
Surfer Sting
was from Venice Beach. So there's.
Do we get Surfer Sting at all back?
No, there's no way.
I want one time. I don't know if it's going to be the blonde hair, but at least like the neon.
Yeah, I mean, the closest we were getting back to it at this point was Punk dressing up like it. But, well, except for Brian Cage, who seems to be dressing as Surfer Sting a lot. But
Ric Flair, he probably wasn't supposed to say WrestleMania.
No, he probably wasn't. But
WrestleMania, they don't have the right to Clash of Champions either.
They don't, but it's Ric fucking Flair, and Triple H is running WWE, so it's not. He's going to be like, come on, man, just. And Triple H is probably going to be like, well, it's fucking Flair, so I guess I got to bite the bullet on this one.
We'll have when he's done in AEW, he'll be back for WrestleMania.
Oh yeah, he will be 100%.
Yeah. You thought the beginning of this was awkward? The whole Copeland, Renee, Sting.
That came out and I was not expecting Sting to just call him out like that either.
I don't know if Copeland didn't know. To me, it looked like, Sting, you just went off fucking script, dude.
Yeah.
What are you doing? He looked lost. And I'm not blaming either, because they're both legends. But Copeland was like, I don't know what to fucking say to come back.
And maybe there was nothing to that. Or Sting was like, listen, we have to get to point A. from point A to point B.
In a second?
In a second, I'm not scripting anything. So whatever happens, you react to in the moment type of thing. And maybe that's how they planned it, because that was absolutely the way it came out with.
And he just stood there, though. He looked like me being yelled at in the play that I am. Excuse me, in.
Ooh, you walk up, the legendary Sting walks up to you, and you vitalize them to an extent for your career, and fucking shakes you down and says, you need to pull your head out of your ass. You're going to be like, what the fuck just happened myself? I mean, that was a genuine reaction. So if they scripted it that way,
okay,
smart.
I guess, but. But, is he going to? It's gotta be, right?
Well, he's the mystery partner at Full Gear, which I'm also surprised, but maybe we're getting at World's End Jay versus Adam. So they need to go the 6-man tag route to get it there so that they can force him to have
a match
with him and then go from there.
Touche. The Hardys and They against the Elite for the. Listen, I forget that the ROH 6-man titles are still lingering. First and foremost, because Brian Cage and the agony of agonies had them and did nothing with them for a while.
Yeah.
The Elite won them, and oh yeah, here they come.
Yeah.
And I know they're probably. Now I'm going to be a dick. I can't imagine Hangman and the Bucks are going down to ROH to defend those ever.
No. If they want to get ratings down there, then yes, but which I saw today, ROH's first pay-per-view, is it the December pay-per-view is on Honor Club.
Mm-hmm.
So exclusively on Honor Club. So if you want to watch the pay-per-view, buy Honor Club, but I would assume that would be the time that they would go down, right?
You would imagine.
You would think, because you have to get people to buy the pay-per-view. And if it's going to be only for $10 a month on Honor Club, then you have to put big names on there and set it up for something big, which I guess plays back to Jay Lethal wins the...
That's a pay-per-view. Like,
I know.
They're not on the weekly shows.
I know. Well, no, that's what I'm saying is
they're
trying to get people into Honor Club to hopefully forget about their membership and charge them $10 every month because you have an active subscription. How do you do that? Put the pay-per-view on there and let them figure it out from there. But
yeah,
I don't know. The Hung Bucks aren't going to go play on ROH TV.
No, I like that, by the way. Afterwards, though, got a little creepy.
A little bit.
Like, it'll hit, and I hate to say it like this, it'll hit different after you have a kid.
Yeah.
There's sometimes I don't like storylines like that. Like, I'm like...
It takes it 0 to 60 very quick, very personal, very quickly.
And Swerve did it great. I loved it. But for a moment, I'm like, please, no guns, no Brian Pillman.
Brian, don't attack, don't do anything. Because I'm sitting there like, is he going to, like, pick up a pillow or some shit like that? And I'm like, don't do that. I loved, though, Prince Nana being very not happy about this, was not a part, didn't want anything to do with this, was very not like, this is too far, you need to pull it back type thing. I like that kind of consciousness from him, but I gotta say this was probably one of the best highlights of Dynamite.
As much as I swallowed, I'm like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
If you're gonna get those feels, it works.
Yep.
We talked about Ruby against Sheeta. I mean, yeah.
I gotta address this. What was Ruby's plan here? To get disqualified so she didn't win the title? That was the plan? That was her whole shtick?
It's green paint. Here, you got me down there now. It's green paint. The referees have seen the paint before.
Yeah.
You're wiping your face. Go out and... I thought she was going out to get water and wipe it on her face.
Yeah.
Till, like, the paint was off. And then go back in and show, I don't know, was it Remsburg? I don't know.
Right.
to say, look, she got me, but I wiped it off. She grabbed the title.
And goes to take a shot in front of her. It boggled my mind.
Yeah.
I'm like, this ending makes no sense for me whatsoever.
Because the ending was not needed.
No, it wasn't.
Because Tony was in Gorilla waiting to come out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do with this match. They just needed to get Ruby and Cheetah on.
Yeah, that was it. And they got them on, and then they just had a complete brain fart of whatever comic said.
Booked this one.
We would have booked it better. Because we would have been sitting there like, well, that's a disqualification. She loses the title shot at that point. Why would we get her in trouble with that? So we throw it out the window. Right. So I don't know whose brainiac idea it was, but it did not land.
It didn't work. And we get another challenge. Go, we got the hand up. Okay.
Go to the challenge first. And then we'll come back. Because I was going to go main event.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We get another challenge to MJF. His third of the day. Joe's like, hey, I want my rematch. Why is Joe? It's Joe. I understand. But why does he get a rematch? He lost.
Well, it's Tony Storm thought process going around AEW. So if you're somebody, you get a title shot. I mean, are you going to tell Smojo no?
No. Hey, I want my rematch.
But he wants the rematch. But he'll be his tag team partner so he can get the rematch. Little quid pro quo on that one. So you need a tag team partner? I'll be your tag team partner. I just get a rematch based off of that.
He's going to have mind blown. Everybody challenging him is going to be his partner.
I think except Wardlow. Because how do you pull Wardlow into that picture?
I'll give you first match. This way, you beat me. These guys don't deserve anything.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, so then he's got Omega, Joe. Oh, that's the old adage. Keep your friends close, but your enemies closer.
Get my title back. You guys all get rematches.
And then he'll be the scumbag and be like, well, I can't make matches.
Yeah.
Thanks.
I'll pop for it.
But, yep. Exactly.
And then that creates matches down the line. Or them just decimating him. Until
the end of time. Yeah.
Orange and Okada, which I didn't know this match was happening. Orange and Okada against Danielson and Claudio.
That was my thing at the beginning of the show. I'm like, fucking Okada's here and nobody announced it? Like, what?
And then I thought it was just Orange against Okada. When I was doing my notes, I'm like, Orange and Okada. Oh, yeah, this is a great way to end the show. And then they come out and they're like, and their opponents, the BCC. Wait, what?
And it set up Claudio and Okada, essentially, because that was like one of the main focal points. Yes, they did the blow off with Danielson and Okada, but it was Claudio and Okada staring each other down after everything was said and done when it all wrapped up. And I'm like, oh shit, we're going here?
Yeah. In the match itself.
Was fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But out of this, there is 28 matches. I don't know. 28 matches that can happen. And I'm like, I want to see them all. One night.
Oh, yeah. Well, then you had BCC. Best Friends were down there. There was another. Hook was down there. It turned into a 5-on-5.
Yeah.
Basically looking at it, and I'm like, are we getting a 10-man tag at some point for all of these guys? Is that Full Gear? Where it's these 5 against that 5, and that means we have Okada and everybody staring down the barrel of a gun? Watch Okada be a part of ROH, the pay-per-view.
No.
You do 5-on-5 at Full Gear. Think about this, 5-on-5 on Full Gear. It extends the story. Claudio and Okada how do you get people on to the streaming platform for the first pay-per-view solely on it?
Yeah, especially
Put Okada on.
Especially worldwide.
What? Yep. Put Okada on it.
Fuck my life. Good call.
If it's not Claudio, it's somebody in Okada's wrestling. I will bet Okada's wrestling on ROH's December pay-per-view.
I would imagine now. Yeah. Yep. What do you get, 90-day visas?
Yeah, 90-day visas. Have them booked through the end of the year, into January. Done. Well, no, have him booked through the end of the year, and then he goes to Wrestle Kingdom and fights whoever he fights at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. That's money.
That's how you make it. And that's why he's the Rainmaker.
He's the Rain. He's the Rain.
And they gave the people what they want. We forgot about that. They gave the people what they want.
Yeah.
When they hugged, I popped. I was very happy. I had my money's worth. I was happy I paid my cable bill this month.
Anything else on AEW?
No, I'm interested to see how Collision pans out tonight for you guys, and then let's see if Abaddon does get a title shot out of this Fatal 4-Way that's coming up here.
I hope so.
I hope so too. I know it's just for Halloween, but I think it'll be a fun change of pace. But it's a pretty stacked card for that Fatal 4-Way. So I'm kind of excited for that. Santana and Ortiz, obviously, I'm excited. Rampage might be a must watch.
Yeah.
So
last night for you guys.
Well, last night for you guys, but yeah.
I don't think WWE is going to be as long as AEW. I'll tell you that right now.
I'm going to make a prediction that's true. So.
Okay. We'll be back for maybe 15 minutes more of the podcast.
This is Amber Rodriguez, the Plague Doctor, the Mad Esthetician, and Can Crushers podcast just got perfect like me.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back without the riz of Jey Uso trying to pick up mommy or the Charlotte college football head coach who's got sons out, guns out right now, and he's cut a V-neck into this t-shirt.
Biff.
I
don't know his last name.
I don't know Biff's last name, but this motherfucker has made me a Charlotte fan. I don't care.
You know what my first thought is?
What?
NCAA next year in August.
They better have it cut off.
I'm running with Charlotte to the national championship.
If they don't have Biff in the game or have the option to create a coach with a cutoff on,
he's going to have the best NIL deal out there.
Oh, he has to. This motherfucker, he's living our dream right now.
I will skip. I know wrestling's over. I mean, football's over by the time I go down to WrestleCade, but I sure as shit would skip Saturday at WrestleCade to go see Charlotte just in the hopes of meeting Biff.
Just to see Biff show up somewhere. Oh my God. Well, we gotta see if they're in town. I mean, they're
not. The season's over by Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, you still have Ohio State, Michigan. You have rivalry weekend that weekend. So I'm looking it up.
Do you really think I'm going to skip WrestleCade though?
I know you're not skipping WrestleCade, but I'm still looking up to see what Biff's up to that weekend. Biff's my hero right now. All right. Let's see here. He's in South Florida, anyways.
Oh, see.
Come on, Biff.
Fucking Biff.
God damn it, Biff. He's got to go impress the Florida folks. So, anyways,
Biff has no bad blood with anybody.
No, he does not. Biff is still looking for that cruel summer with the way he's rocking these guns out. All I'm saying is, level of Riz is Jey Uso and Biff. Everybody else is below that. Oh. So that's where we're at right now.
This motherfucker. We both went to get beers during the break, and this is the first thing I saw when I came back into the studio, besides the dogs following me, and I'm like, all right, let's play with the dogs for 5 minutes to extend this segment a little bit, because, yeah, I turned to the TV, and fucking Biff's walking off the field with a cutoff. I'm like, who is that? And then they put his name up, Biff Cargaglione or whatever, I don't know. Biff, if you're listening, I apologize. But because he's probably a huge fan. He definitely crushes cans.
Oh, he crushes cans on a daily. Oh, and trust me, he's off tomorrow. He's going to be crushing them cans big time. And then I walk into my office and I sit down and I'm like, who is this motherfucker? Sun's out, guns out going on over here.
Hey,
Biff,
Coach, Charlotte.
Biff,
Maybe
we
that's
love
why
you.
they're 2-5.
That might be, they're so intimidated by his guns out that they just can't win a game. We love you, Biff.
Me too. I need Biff tattooed somewhere on me now. Biff Martinez. No, because that's going to run too far. Shut up, Donnie. You're already laughing. Donnie Vampino. Shut your mouth. You know, the promises I made you, not happening. Let's talk about SmackDown last week, huh?
Let's do it.
Or let's talk about WWE in general?
Yeah, probably WWE in general, because it's been SmackDown was probably the highlight of WWE in general last weekend. I mean, we had Heyman and LA Knight interaction, which was funny in its own right, and it helped put LA Knight over. But if anybody and their mother thinks LA Knight is anywhere close to winning Crown Jewel,
listen, this is a great talking point that'll extend this segment a little bit. People are losing their shit on TikTok saying that LA Knight is going to be buried by losing to Roman Reigns. No. First and foremost, he's not losing. He's going to come damn close to beating Roman.
Yep.
And then everybody and their brother. Roman's not winning clean.
No, he never, yeah.
Since the inception of WWE, essentially, don't call me
right.
But you know what I mean. He's not winning clean. Something's going to happen to set up Survivor Series where, oh, guess what? LA Knight's going to be on that team.
Yep.
You're going to get this interaction again between Roman and LA Knight. Won't be for the championship, whatever. But LA's in the main event for this month and next month.
Yeah.
And I know they're the same month. I understand that. But pay-per-views are premium level.
Yeah. But they get the taste of it, right? Yeah. You get the taste of LA Knight in the main event. They can vet it out. Is it going to drive buys? Is it going to, or is it just people are just talking his name in the arena? So this is his trial period. He's just not getting a title because there's no place for him in the title picture right now.
No.
Next year, maybe, but right now, no, because there's already plans in place to get us to Mania and get those titles where they need to be.
Yeah.
So.
I did like Santos and Montez.
Yeah. Well, it goes back to Montez's and Santos too, but those two are the future, and we really need to get Montez giddy-upping towards a title picture hunt, or at least a single star status type thing.
Yeah. I know we're still lingering with Bobby and they take losses and you wonder and this, that, and the other thing. They need to join but then become single. I think this helps them out being with Bobby, but I think they need to shake hands and say, we're together. I have your back whenever you need you, but I need to go after the IC title. You need to go after the 24/7 title, whatever.
Yeah. And maybe Bobby can just force that to happen where he's like, we are single stars here. You go IC title, you go US title, and they can separate from that regard. And to that point, that also gives Dawkins a stronger talking partner because he can stay with Bobby on SmackDown and get more training. Tez can run on his own on Raw and really start building that up and build up that repertoire to go against Gunther and that. He can carry it on his own.
Yeah. Logan Paul, 6 days. He used a scumbag. I made sure to write that down. I'm like, oh, now all of a sudden we're going to use the word scumbag all over the rest of the universe.
Oh, yeah, because if it works in one place, it works in another.
Here's my spoiler prediction for next week. He wins this title.
I don't disagree. I mean, that's why they got it to him, right? That's why they got it on Ray, so that Logan Paul can take it off of him. Get a marquee win. Doesn't hurt Ray. Gets him a marquee win. I don't know where it goes from there unless he's hanging around until Survivor Series or something, but Maybe we'll get a Gunther versus Logan Paul match at Survivor Series where it's titled like brand supremacy type thing, because they're already building towards that with
that's clearly between
Pierce and Aldis. Yeah, that's clearly what they're going to. And spoilers on that, Aldis is winning it because they need to establish Aldis. So we'll get there when we get there. But maybe they set it up for what's more appealing, Logan Paul versus Gunther, and people are going to, I would pay to watch Logan Paul get his ass kicked by Gunther. And he's already great. He's a great wrestler. I can't argue that. So let him cook with fucking Gunther and a title, just secondary title face-off match like they have done in the past.
Yeah. And then I don't care how you drop it, but then,
yeah,
I mean, it's not going to be a long reign.
No. And maybe they give it back, they give it to Santos or something, or somehow, but.
There weren't a lot of matches now that I'm scrolling through the notes. There was a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, it was mostly a bullshit show. I mean, what came out today, I think it was today. Anyways, Cena and Solo at Crown Jewel. People were pushing for Mania, but hey, at least it should be a decent match, I think. But I don't know.
Solo get the question, and this is awesome that this all, like, WWE listened to Ask Can Crushers, apparently. Is this Solo's win?
I think it has to be Solo's win, right?
Because what does John Cena beating Solo do?
Nothing. If anything, Solo should beat him so bad he has to leave TV because his 8 weeks are up.
Yeah.
Like, Solo should win this match decisively.
Decimating.
Yes.
Decimating him.
Yep.
You know, what is it called? The Samoan...
The Samoan spike.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I was going to say nail, but the spike kayfabe, or storyline, crushes Larynx, that he's now off for a while.
Yep. That makes Solo even more dangerous. And when you put him into a War Games match, if that's where he ends up, as soon as he enters that match, it should be a game-changing event. So,
because Solo, when he first debuted, was awesome.
He was very awesome. They built him right. I think when he lost to Cody right before Mania, he lost the luster.
Oh, a lot.
Yeah. And he hasn't regained it fully yet. This gives him that shine, gives him that bulldozer mentality. And if it is War Games for, the Bloodline and Judgment Day versus whatever 5 guys they picked for baby faces, then you have to sit there and say, well, okay, then Solo has to be your last guy in, and he has to be the difference maker for
the team.
That team.
To put over
Bloodline Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Blood Judgment.
I was trying to think of.
Yeah.
Theory and Waller against Grimes and Dragon Lee. Okay. A-Town Down Under win. Yeah. I like them as a team.
Yeah.
But I think Waller has been misused since he's come up too.
He hasn't been established like he should have been. Like, he's a great talker, so he should be higher. I think he should be higher in the food chain. He should be reaching LA Knight levels. Not like I'm saying he should be a main event right now, but he should be in more of those talking situations, more of the perpetual putting himself forward. It's just not happening for him.
Oh. And I don't know why.
But I think they should have horned him with Theory to keep Theory relevant, to be honest.
He's lost a lot, too.
Theory's lost a lot since he lost the U.S. title. He's not engaging enough to be a talker. And let's be honest, he's not, besides the looks, there's not a lot, there's some charisma, but not a lot of charisma there.
He's a young Cena. Without
a young Cena that they haven't figured out how to use yet, because they don't want to use him as a young Cena.
Right.
Because they have others in mind for that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then we get Flair. Main event was Flair against EO for the championship.
Yeah.
Right? It was for the championship.
It was for the title.
So why was Dakota holding it the whole match? Shouldn't it be... It's not Sam. Sam's on Raw. I understand that. But the girl announcer, timekeeper, all of that, shouldn't it be at the timekeeper's table if it's for the title?
Yeah, but think about it this way. Paul Heyman would hold Roman's titles during his whole matches too. So for WWE, they set a precedent where you can do that instead of giving it to the timekeeper, where like normal companies would be like, okay, you get the title and then we'll come do some angle with you to get the title away from you and then use it. That's not the key.
The ref holds it up.
Hands it right off to the timekeeper. That's who owns it. So now, to your point, the ref can't hold up the title because Dakota Kai and this whole thing is null and void.
I remember at least the ref would hold it up for Roman's matches, give it to the timekeeper, and then Paul would go over and say, "You're not worthy enough to hold this," or something, something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's not Dakota's shtick or Damage Control at all, because they're not on the Paul Heyman level to do that. The timekeeper should it up to them. So we're just, fuck it. We won't even show the title. Yeah, it's for the title, but
it's not for the title. It's almost like somebody stole the title and now they're wearing it instead of the champion. But yeah.
Right. By the way, I really want, when she gets off her injuries, I've always been a Dakota fan.
Agreed.
I think she needs to shine when she's healthy.
I think she should just blow up Damage Control to begin with when she gets off her injury. And I'm like, just start taking, I don't care what she does, but like, to your point, shine, break away. We need a Damage Control breakout, but just blow up the group. Like, you can attack anybody, you can do anything. Also, 99 catching ability from Dakota.
Yeah.
Catching ring gear. Just not looking, just catching shit out of midair.
Madden player,
99 club. Get her a trophy, guys.
Flair using a fall away slam again on the second rope. I love that so much more than a suplex. Both of these guys brought it. And the whole Bret Hart, with the whatever the hell he had on, the body armor finish, with just using the belt.
Yeah. That was a nice little touch.
It was.
I like that a lot.
I enjoyed this match. And then they beat shit out of her. Surprising return.
Yeah, for Bianca.
I didn't expect this until the pay-per-view.
I didn't either. I enjoyed her return, but I love that she was all black. Like, there was no, and I'm not, that went the wrong way, but she was wearing all black and it was more black hair. Like, I'm very serious now versus my bubbly dancing self. I'm here for business and business only. I like that little touch to the character that kind of made it more impactful for me instead of her just coming out being the dancing bubbly Bianca that we've known and loved.
So this hasn't been announced yet. Maybe it has by the time you guys are listening to the show. We're going to have 2 matches, women's matches on Crown Jewel, which I'm hoping for. One is the Fatal 5-Way.
Yeah.
And then this tag team match of Flair and Bianca against Bayley and Io.
Yeah. Which I think happened last year or earlier this year, but one of them was a squash with Rhea and that, and then the other one was the last woman standing match, I think, with Bayley and Bianca. So, to me, I love this a lot, but it also makes me scared that one of them is going to turn into a 30-second or 5-minute brawl for all type thing, which I think I know which one's going to be that, but yeah. Let's go
right there.
Let's go with there. There's nothing.
I have no expectations of this Fatal 5-Way match. None.
No,
and it's sad to say because there's people that I love Mommy. I really do. Listen, as much as we shit on her, Nia's got a little bit of a presence right now. To me, at least. Like, something seems a little bit different than Nia. I would love to see Shayna get it. I'm still not on Raquel. I don't know.
Raquel's in the wrong. They're doing Raquel wrong. And Zoe Starks is only on this because they wanted to get more women on the pay-per-view. Let's be honest.
She's taking the loss.
She's taking the loss, and I'm not being this way, but we talked about this before. Saudi shows are historically against women wrestlers and against women. So when you talk about what we're looking at now, they've done it in a way that they're pushing, if it's a tag team match with Bianca and Charlotte versus Damage Control, they've now pushed, we'll include Dakota in there, 10 women onto the show to wrestle in 2 matches. So they're taking advantage of the numbers game, which
good for them.
I commend them 100% for to get more women on the show. But it suffers in quality when you think about Zoe was not a part of this to begin with, and it's just a random throw-in. The Fatal 4-Way, okay, I can respect how they got to this point because there's so many ties to Nia Jax, and you build it up so much. Okay, we can live with that. Zoe's just thrown in and to take the loss. Because right now, Zoe's young enough in her career, she can take a loss that it won't impact her too much.
She was just with a legend.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
2, Trish and Becky.
Shayna just got off of beating Ronda Rousey, who is now apparently an independent wrestler. But
I'm shocked that I didn't bring that up, and I have it in my notes in Raw. She just shows up with Maria Shafir.
Yeah. And on the independent scene, it just starts wrestling.
It's Valkyrie and I
can't remember who it was. Yeah. But just wrestles a tag team match.
She retired last Monday. Ballpark.
Yeah. All right. Well,
everybody likes the Jon Moxley syndrome now.
Yep.
That's exactly. Hey, I'm out.
Walk away, show up somewhere. She's not going to show up in any major promotion, but she's just going to show up in the Indies.
She's linked with Maria Shafir.
I get that, but
could it? And I will cringe
if she shows.
Talk her into saying, "Come and do a couple one-offs."
If she talks her into coming to do one-offs,
we're talking about AEW people.
AEW, and they need to build the matches. There better be a mouthpiece that you input that can be strong enough to carry both of them through what they need to do.
There's nobody on the AEW roster I want to see get in the ring with her.
No. Oh, God, absolutely not. I don't think anybody...
On the AEW roster, I'll say it then because I'll be the bad guy. I don't think there's anybody on the AEW roster that wants to get in the ring with her.
Yeah. I mean, I can't disagree with that. Unless they build something up real quick to have a match with Marina Shafir. So that, and this could be happening on the independent scene, they're just building up a match so that they can have a one-off. Like, she can wrestle her friends in it. You know what I mean?
Shaq or
Dog.
Or
So then her and Marina can have a quick one-off match.
On Rampage.
Somewhere. Yeah. On Collision or something like that. Pennsylvania Collision Lions Den match.
I just got so disgusted right with you.
You know what? That's the second person who's going to that show that's been disgusted with me about it. So the other one I told was Mr. Hetrick when he brought up he just wants to see Danielson wrestle, and I said, watch that tonight. Danielson's on commentary.
Right.
And he was not happy with that comment. But, I mean...
I was pumping him up saying, hey, it's his show. He's 9 out of 10 going to be there. And
like, here's this fat asshole over here saying, he's going to be on commentary. He's not going to be on the show.
Now he's injured.
Yeah.
Oof. That's all right. There'll be a few beers before we're good to go.
this isn't going to happen, but could you imagine we get Okada in Erie?
No.
It's a live taping of Collision.
Yeah. Sure shit is. It sure is a live taping, and you're gonna fly Okada into the Erie International Airport.
Well, no, you're flying him into Pittsburgh. He's got to take a tin can from Charlotte to Erie.
That's not happening. So you fly him into Pittsburgh. Who is going to get him? He's not going to Uber.
First of all, Tony Khan's a billionaire. He can figure it out. Second of all, it's the Rainmaker. He'll figure it out, too.
Is Tony Khan, and I hate to say this, Tony Khan even going to be at Collision?
He has to be because he's the one that runs the shows every week.
I know.
So.
And we're knocking Erie.
We are knocking Erie because it's a small town and we don't get live tapings that often. So we're probably sitting here like, are they?
The last one was a Thunder that I walked out of.
I was going to say. 1990, 2000, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. We still haven't, yes, people, it still gets brought up in conversations. That's going to be a spotlight of why I hated that whole event.
We have to watch that. I have to watch that now because I do not, after seeing what shit shows transpired on that whole thing.
I don't know. What else do you want to talk about? Gargano defeated Da Vinci, whatever.
We talked a little bit about Becky and Indy and how we were a little disappointed with the Indy storyline and all that stuff. So we kind of covered that.
Drew beat Sammy. This match happened in my passing out, falling asleep after work as it's on fast forward because I was so not enthralled with Raw whatsoever. So I didn't really even see that match, but I just saw that Drew won.
Yeah.
And then Uso and Priest. Oh, wait. Priest wins because everybody in the fucking brother comes out again.
It's the same storyline.
It was so rinse and repeat this week.
That's all it's been for the past month with Raw. The only difference is
Aldis on the show.
Well, Aldis was on the show. They bring in different things, like they brought back Gargano, so then that trickles in. Then you can kind of work your way out. Becky's facing a new person every week, so that's kind of different. But outside of that, it's all the same results. Becky wins. Judgment Day, Cody. We're in a struggle bus until Survivor Series at this point.
We're in a struggle bus until Rumble.
Well, yeah, but Survivor Series is at least the blow off for War Games between everybody and their mother in Judgment Day Bloodline. Blood Judgment. So, Judgment Blood? Blood Judgment? Blood
Judge Line.
Oh, Judge Line. Judge Blood? Blood Judge.
I don't know.
Judge Line.
Is Rhea going to be in a Bloodline?
I don't even know. Rhea's in fucking Judgment Day, just leading it.
If it's Oos, this is going to be a dick. If Oos is the male, would it be an Oosie then? So they can use that word? Because the pronunciations of...
Is it Uso and Usa? I don't know. I have one Spanish there.
I am Spanish.
If they do Usi, to me, you already not ruined the word, but it's already connotated with Sammy in that, so you're not going to get the reaction you want with Usi,
right?
Basically, WWE was just not great this week. That we've reduced ourselves to pronoun the way we pronounce words,
right?
For Uso.
And by the way, I'm guessing that Piper and Chelsea beat Nat and Nikki, who returned from getting her.
And then Nikki was standing on this apron in her own world, basically, during this match. So Nikki's turning back into the psychopath that she once was, it seems like. So from what I've seen...
She had a great career.
That's how she should have been billed this entire time, not turning into a superhero or anything of that nature. Let her be the psychopath that she was before. And I'm not opening that old wound of sanity being misused again, because that was, that's still fresh. But anyways.
The last thing that I want to bring up personally, if you can bring up anything else you want to. Why is Ivar getting a vignette? Is he coming? Like Mahan? the paper company was, then they were already there. Like, we've seen Ivar for months now crushing New Day.
Yeah.
Where is Rowan? Or not Rowan.
Well, it's
Eric Rowe.
Eric Rowe, yeah. I was going to say you're close, but then I'm like, wait, no, it's not Rowan. Eric must be injured.
So Ivar's coming. He's been there.
He's been there. So hasn't what the hell is her name? Valhalla.
Yeah.
So that I'm not getting into that one. Anyways, I went on that rant before about Valhalla being a person and not what. Never mind. So, anyways, Biff.
I don't think Biff's losing this game 14-6.
Biff's got to pull his head out of his ass.
They're 2-5. I don't know. So, as you guys are listening to this, and then we'll talk about this, most places in the United States, I am sure, it is Halloween weekend, and there's trick-or-treaters out, and there's this or that. So if you're out and about, make sure you're watching for the kids, especially in our neck of the woods. They're supposed to have rules of crossing corners. They're getting free fucking candy. It's like us getting free beer.
Yeah, we're going to be all over the place, and we're drunk off candy / beer. Be careful. Be cognizant. They're not all going to be wearing reflectors. And to your point, some areas, they don't have sidewalks, so they're going to walk right down the road. Some areas, they do have sidewalks, a little more protected. Just be safe. Keep your eyes out. And if you can't see at night when you drive, I'd probably stay in for that night when people are out trick-or-treating. Because it's supposed to be a happy occasion. Don't make it any more
drive ever.
Don't drink and drive.
Yeah. There's going to be a million kids all over the world tomorrow. Don't be a dick.
Exactly. 100%.
Don't be a dick. I'm so enthralled into this game that I don't even want to edit tonight. I don't know, because of Biff. I don't know a player on Florida Atlantic or Charlotte.
Well, now I know Yabe Okionoma. Get after it, Yabe. Next week, when we have the show, I kind of want to talk about this Michigan sign stealing shit that's been going on for college football, but
I think ramifications will be laid down by then.
Yeah, well, maybe, because they're still collecting evidence and all that. So maybe there's some
evidence out there.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying, but we'll see where we're at next week. But I think we should talk about that a little bit, because I think that's fucked. And a whole other 5 ways to Sunday.
I wonder if they're going to make the playoffs this year, even if they make the playoffs this year.
They're not going to do it.
They win it and they Reggie Bush it a couple years later.
I'm not even going to go with that. Yeah, I hate that too. And I'm not even going to say they're going to death wish them or whatever the SMU thing was, where they were basically banned for 25 years from playing in a bowl. Yeah, so that's not going to happen either. But there's going to be some sort of repercussions. I don't know if they're going to come out this week or what, but they tend to take time with these decisions. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit of time before we get something.
Yeah, I agree. What do you got going on the rest of the week?
Oh, man.
By the way, did you have anything else for wrestling?
Oh, I had nothing else for wrestling. That's why I changed it back to Biff. Rest of the upcoming weekend, Halloween, we're up here in parts unknown, Erie, Pennsylvania. Halloween is on Halloween, so I'll have trick-or-treaters coming to the house.
It's a Tuesday night.
They do it every year. It's on the same night. Well, it's weird because Meadville, where Kimberly's at, they do it on a Thursday, the Thursday before. So they did it last night. Yeah.
At recording.
Yeah. 2 nights ago, because when you guys are listening, but whatever, time frames, and we're 3 beers in. Anyways, this weekend I will be seeing Mr. Hetrick and Mr. Mucci because it's Mr. Mucci's birthday, obviously, so I'll see them for that. Sunday, don't think I have anything planned, probably see Kimberly, and then next week, fun and excitement at work because there's been a lot of things. We talked about me shifting back to the office, so there's more things trickling down. And, So we'll be dealing with that and some candy delivering. But that's about it. What about you? What are you up to?
Well, besides Martinez Karaoke tomorrow night and NWA, again, don't forget to watch NWA. We'll put that plug out there too. Yep. I think it's going to be the turn for NWA. So I'm really excited for it. I think a lot's going to happen that we'll maybe glance over it next week. Couple interviews next week. Again, getting what I can in the hopper for the time off. So I know we're going right now, play practice. We're doing scene by scene, really making sure it's all good. And then next week, we're going to start doing full rehearsals, essentially, whole play every night. So that's going to take a lot of time up. That's it. Work.
I mean, you're a busy man. Busy man.
And I mean, I come home, and play practice usually starts like 5 o'clock most of the time. It starts at 5 o'clock. So I come home 1 o'clock, get my wrestling in, get my couple YouTube shows that I must watch in, this, that, or the other, power nap for 45 minutes, and I'm like, man, I wish I didn't have to go to play practice. Because I hate going anywhere. This sounds horrible. I hate going anywhere until I'm there. And then look out, because the first 5 minutes, oh, how's Mark? I just woke up, I'm up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Give me a minute, blah, 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 blah. And they're like, what, do you drink coffee right now? No, I have to go to sleep as soon as I get home from this. I cannot drink coffee. So it takes a couple minutes for me to do whatever. And then as soon as I get home, house flips are, oh my God, you should have saw the new thing that I did. I made them, they're like, so.
And it's like 10 o'clock at night and they're all like,
and I'm like,
okay.
They're ready for bed. And I'm like, but I did this. I did a cartwheel tonight. They're like, good, you did a cartwheel.
We're proud of you. We're proud of you.
Right. So, again, before we sign off, guys, if you love the show Wednesday about, I want to say top 10 spooky wrestlers, but it wasn't. It was just spooky wrestlers. We want to do more like that. And we want to hear from you some that you want to hear us do.
Yes.
So
give us the ideas.
Yeah, give us the ideas. And yes, we'll put them in the hopper. And I'm not going to say we're going to do them if Bob Smith sends us top table matches. It might not be next week that we do it.
Right.
But continue to listen, because essentially we're going to love it and we're going to steal it. And as I said, we may not be alone when we do these. And that's really cool.
That'll be exciting.
Because you hear us idiots all the time, but there's been some people that said, whoa, pump the brakes, because that sounds like some shit show that I could be involved in.
I like that a lot. Let's get some new opinions into the shit show and make it a whole fucking tub of it. Let's go for it. Yeah. That was a terrible analogy, but we're gonna go for it anyway.
Yeah, but that's our analogy.
That's where we're going with it.
So, other than that, I hope everybody has a great Halloween weekend. Don't be a hooligan or a jackass. Give out good candies. Do all of this. Don't do toothbrushes. Yeah. It's for the kids.
Don't give out dimes. Okay? No dimes, no toothbrushes or anything. I'm speaking from experience. My grandmother did it. Don't do that. Don't be that person.
Did you mind when you got like an apple?
I love apples, so no, I didn't mind. I got a fucking rubber rat once because I wore a Brett Favre jersey.
What?
Yeah. There was a person in my grandparents' neighborhood, and I was like a zombie football player or whatever it was. It was like when I was 7, too. And they're like, I hate the Packers. And they gave me this fucking rubber rat, and I watched them give my sisters candy at the same time, but they gave me a fucking rubber rat. So don't be a bad person. Don't judge the costumes.
What was your favorite costume?
One year dressed up as Robin, but it's because Robin, the superhero, it's because
I
we
did
did a
cross
whole,
wheel.
we did a whole group costume thing with it. So somebody was Batman, somebody was Robin, somebody was a Joker, things of that nature. So we did a whole DC thing, and that was pretty cool to me. I did a hippie last year. I've dressed up as a pirate. Those are both fun. But as a kid, I wasn't that creative. And honestly, by the time Halloween rolled around in the EPA, it didn't matter what you were wearing because you had to put on a winter coat because it was snowing outside. So it was like, it was what it was. We had a lot of great memories with it. And my sister also fell down a drainage sewer grate at one point. But and lost half of her candy at that point.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, she was not happy. I might have laughed, but whatever. I'm fine.
Maybe.
We don't have confirmed reports. We can't go back. We can't find out. I think for me, I don't remember the costumes as much because it was what I did at the time. It was what I liked at the time. It was more I remember the memories, and I remember we'd always go back to my grandparents' house, have cider and donuts, and then we'd go home and just, that was kind of the whole thing. It was a cool time to be alive. Do you remember favorite Halloween costume?
I do, and this is going to sound ridiculous. I've been anything and everything, but I think it was just that Halloween was really cool. I was probably 5 or 6. I loved the He-Man costume. Like, my parents bought the vinyl plastic thing.
Yeah.
So I had the He-Man. Then this is prior Mark glasses, so I could wear something like this. So I wore the He-Man mask, but because we just wanted the mask. But then my mom and dad at that time, kind of shape-shifted me. I was a fat fucking kid, so you know that. Shape-shifted me into looking like He-Man. And I know I wore it to school, and everybody went ape shit because He-Man was big. You remember who He-Man was,
yeah,
right?
I know. I had a He-Man playset, yeah.
Okay. I was the only He-Man that year. So I got, again, Mark looking for all the praises. I got a lot of praise. So, of course, Mark playing it up, even as a little asshole. Got a ton of candy that year. But we also then, drove to St. Mary's to see my grandma, and she had, a dinner or something for us. Well, and yeah, the He-Man year was, again, it was 5 or 6 or 7, something like that. Was the one that always sticks with me. I've been the football player. I've been the baseball player. I've been a demented clown. I've been whatever. I've never been a wrestler or anything like that for what? Go
ahead, finish your story. That sparked my memory because I have been, and there's a whole story behind it, so I'm going to go into it. And it started Labor Day weekend at my camp with my family. There was an event. We have a parade that we always do for the MDA telethon that was on with Jerry Lewis and all that stuff. So they always used to collect money throughout the year, and then they go present it at the MDA telethon. That weekend we were just doing, they were costumes, everybody dressed up because, by that time everybody's going back to school. Nobody's coming out to camp anymore. It's kind of, you close up after Labor Day. I wanted to be Diesel at that time. Big Daddy Cool, okay? However, my father had other ideas. He's like, why don't you add this on? And why don't you put this on? You know what? Let's put this inflatable snake around your neck.
You ended up Oz? No, I'm kidding.
No, I ended up looking like Jake a mix of Outback Jack and Jake the Snake, because I had the fucking hat on for Outback Jack, but I had Jake the Snake, and then I had tank top. It was what it was, but the costume sticks out to me because A, got a lot of compliments on it. We rode around in the little parade around the campground. B, I made it on to the NBA telethon local broadcast because my camp was like, hey, you dressed up, you went for it. Why don't you come with us to present the check for the campers, what was Campers Hill at that time? So I went on, and I ended up on NBA telethon, very quiet, didn't speak a lot, but I had my inflatable snake and all that stuff on. So, and I ended up being that for Halloween that year. So, I loved it.
That's cool. Outback Snake.
Yep, Outback Snake, man. So, it was, I was more or less an independent wrestler at
right, stealing gimmicks.
Literally at the bingo hall at Camper Show, because we had a bingo hall up there. So it worked. Yeah. So stealing gimmicks and stealing moves. So.
All right, guys, we love you.
We love you. We do love you guys.
Remember, just because you're trash doesn't mean you can't do great things.
You're a garbage can, not a garbage can not. Make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them. Whoop, whoop. See, I'm already falling off the wagon here.
Because you never know. Happy fucking Halloween.